What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Today it is going to be an Easter edition of the King of the Hill. So welcome, guys. Hope you're all having a good old, I guess everyone's kind of on vacation right now. So I suppose that's not terribly applicable there. But yeah, guys, welcome. Hope you're all doing well. So we were going to be doing the con campaign today, but I'm going to be moving that to tomorrow. I did sleep in a little bit, so I was like, yeah, let's just do a King of the Hill and have some fun. So in our first match, we have Wicked D facing off against A-Move Hacker. And as far as the rest of our players today, we have Jake, Bilbo, Aerocrastic, Galahad, Willow, Rubber Duck of War, Decoli, Undertaker, Pharaoh of War, and Ice Power. And then, of course, we have some very solid players on the reserve list as well. But nonetheless, should be quite a bit of fun. It's good to see you guys. Good to see the familiar faces, some new faces as well. Let's fire this beast up. So for the first match of the day, it looks like... Okay, they're thinking about doing double Luminarcs and firing at one another. But hopefully that's not the case. I would definitely appreciate not opening with a mirror match here. But how we do it is in the first match of the King of the Hill, the first player will do a standard pick and ban. So they pick a faction, they ban two, their opponent picks. But from there, we do a triple pick system, which you guys will, of course, be seeing. So it looks like he's wanting A-Move to do it. So they're going to do their picks and bans, and we'll be back with them in just a minute. But in the meantime, I'll just hang out with you guys. Yes, it is I. I did not mute myself for one of the few times that a stream has started. Yes. Hey, Turin, could you move the wind counter so it doesn't block the minimap? Yeah, I could. Well, once we load into the game, I'll take a look, and I'll look at the minimap, and we'll put it somewhere else. But, yeah. You know, blocking the minimap actually isn't terrible in some respects because it does help against stream sniping for, like, seeing where, like, hidden things are on the map and whatnot. So there is a bit of, goodness about that. What's up, Mr. Pig? Jason, how you doing? Aristodamos, the bots are not here. It is far too early. We just started the stream. There's 130 people watching, which is cool, but we're very early on. We have a donation coming in from Lich109 to kick off this stream. He says, nice, just finished my Marcus Legendary campaign. What a beast, dude. After getting soft locked into the events bug. Oh, that sucks. Twice and needing to restart twice. Never again. Yeah, that sucks, man. Marcus's campaign is actually really hard. Like, really difficult. So, yeah, congrats on beating that on Legendary. That's quite the accomplishment. So, it's going to be Greenskins event against Bretonnia here in the first match. So, it's going to be A-Move Hacker on the Greenskins and Wicked D coming in with the Noble Bretonian. So, a matchup that, historically speaking, has been a little bit tricky for Bretonnia simply because of the Arachnarok Spider. But they do have Gotrek now. They have Green Knight. And honestly, I think that's the way to go. Use Gotrek, use Green Knight, and you go and goon the Spider with those two characters. And then you just cycle charge with the rest of the Greenskin army. Now, it's not easy. Greenskins can spam Blackworks and Spiders, and it's really tough for Bretonnia to break. But nonetheless, we'll see how it goes. I would probably go Fey Enchantress, Gotrek, Green Knight, or a Paladin as well. But the Paladin isn't quite as resilient as the Green Knight, and having a ghostly terror-causing unit against Greenskins is really strong. So that would probably be the route I'd go, but again, we'll see what he decides to do. We are on the Estalian too, which is a good map. Lich109, thank you so much. All right. Good evening, Major Mullah. Hope you're doing well. Got a Rubber Duck of War in here who's done very well in our King of the Hills in the past. Going to be great. For the lady indeed. Yeah, King of the Hill format's really fun, and I was kind of missing it. We had been doing so much Bannerlord content that I was like, we got to go back to the classics and do it to it. Did you guys see the video that I put up about, upcoming news for Warhammer 3? So some cool stuff. The fact that they're going to rework sieges is very exciting because siege battles are one of the more miserable things for sure in the game. In my experience, I don't enjoy sieges. Some people do. I think it's probably a smaller, less vocal minority that does enjoy the sieges, but in general, very excited about that. Hippogriffs versus Greenskins, says Guac. Yeah, it's tricky though, because if they go with Wurzag and they use Effigy of the Git when they land, they can get so much value, and those things cost like 2,000 gold. Yeah, I understand their application though, for sure, but they just get pinned down so easily. No Easter is perfect without a Bretonian victory, says Major Mullah. So again, Wicked D against A-Move Hacker, going under the alias of Left Butt Cheek. And True Respected is our boy Wicked here. Yes, very, very good stuff indeed. Harrison, I'm doing well, man. Thanks for asking. Yeah, man, a siege rework is very, very welcome. Some of the other stuff that was very exciting is knowing that even though Thanquol will not be coming for Game 2, it's still really exciting to know that he is coming at some point. I think Thanquol will be a very fun character. He'll be able to have his pet rat ogre, Bone Rippa, which he does ride. So I think he'll have Bone Rippa as a mount option. Just like, how Wurzag has Spleen Rippa. All those different characters. Yeah, sieges are like easier to win than open field. Yeah, you basically just like sit in the corner out of line of sight of most of the towers and just shoot. It's really cheesy. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Like siege battles, I think towers should be able to shoot like at all angles in siege battles to make it harder. So the towers can like rotate and shoot you if you're like corner camping. It's so stupid how they can't. Yeah, I mean if you're playing an artillery faction, you can just sit and bombard. Yeah. 1 second, guys. All right, I'm back. So I heard the Wookiee calling in the night. All right, so let's go ahead and check it out here, guys. See if they're ready. Not quite yet. Bretonnia versus Greenskins, though. Yeah, Fan Enchantress, I think, is the way to go. Like, infantry fight certainly is pretty good for Greenskins, so having something that can Mortis Engine down, like, a superior number of troops is really helpful. But, yeah, I mean, Greenskins can spam Biggins and Blackworks, or just Biggins and then Ragnarok Spiders. It's pretty strong. Granted, the Biggins do take a lot of damage from charges, whereas Blackworks, I think, are a little bit better. They're immune to psychology. They have heavy armor. They're pretty beast mode for sure. Yes, it looks like the Greenskins are indeed ready. Just waiting for the Bretonians. I do think that Ikit Claw is probably the strongest campaign. I think Ikit Claw is like, if you had to do like a best of list for campaign powerhouse factions, I think Ikit Claw is probably the best. But his nukes are just obscenely overpowered. Like if you're like have any challenge, anything like, oh hey, this is going to be bad, it's like suddenly you just whip out a fat nuke and you know, you can just crumble elite troops, armies, you name it, like instantly. Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild indeed. Yeah, you guys are here in the beginning. We haven't had any games yet, which is good. They could be arguing over it. Yeah, perhaps. Perhaps, Dom. Now, how many of you guys have been watching or are interested in the Bannerlord content? I was kind of curious about the crossover. I know there's a lot of new people coming to the channel through Bannerlord, which is great. One day we shall mesh these communities when they allow us to have our own dedicated servers so we could do like big old events and sieges and things like that. But I'm curious, do you guys actually watch the Bannerlord stuff? All right, the Astalian Tomb is here. Greenskins against Bretonnia. Certainly a very fun matchup. It's one that, yeah, I don't know. The spiders are really tough to deal with. I'd be really surprised if A move didn't go with at least one spider. Like the queen, you can even go double spider. But I would wager that at the very least we are going to be seeing one of these bad boys. All right. Yes, so pertaining to the Old World reboot, I am certainly interested. I'm certainly very interested, and when the Old World does come back in tabletop, I will be covering it for sure. There'll be battle reports, there'll be guides, all that sort of good stuff. Because I've certainly fallen in love with Warhammer Fantasy, and I love tabletop. It's been probably the only difficult thing about this whole kind of isolation is the fact that I can't play in my 40k leagues. That's like the only thing that really changed in my life. Now, I'm pretty sure that in LA, too, you're required to wear a mask if you go outside at all. Some sort of a mask, which is interesting. I guess that, like, a mask constitutes, like, wrapping a t-shirt around your face as well. I've seen some people doing that. Because obviously the masks got looted and pillaged within the first couple weeks of the siege. Yeah, Bannerlord's really fun. Yeah, I would imagine most people on my channel will prefer the Warhammer stuff, but again, if as long as you guys don't mind it, that's nice. I have a really funny video going up tomorrow. It's actually a captain mode, so you guys saw captain mode in some of my other videos, and it's a really, really fun battle between Sturgia and Britannia, so you guys will be seeing that. Probably the best faction in captain mode in PvP in Bannerlord is Sturgia. They're so insanely powerful. Their infantry and berserkers and their Varyog infantry are like so overpowered. All the other nations basically just buckle under your weight. I mean, they can be beaten, but it's really tough. You have to be like really strategic and really play the field and pull them apart. But again, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. All right, guys, just loading in here. Has everyone seen Henry Cavill posted himself painting a Custodes model? That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine I could see him playing a Custode or or a Space Marine. He's certainly got the kind of the look for it, right? One of us. Yeah, and I can see that actually happening. He wanted to be in The Witcher because he was like a huge fan of it, and he got his way. He's very much like an A-list guy, right? So It'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see him in those. He'd pull a lot of eyes to the franchise, which would be neat. All right, guys, here we are in the battle. Let's take a look at the build of A-Move Hacker. So a couple Spider Riders, pretty standard. Usually use Spider Riders as not to win any cav fights, but if the Bretonnian cav do overextend, you charge them with the Spider Riders, which then applies poison. You can slow them down, you can really muck them up and cause some problems. Some Wolf Riders as well to deal with archers. Now, this is pretty much the standard stuff, Wurzag and Black Orcs. So 2 Black Orcs, the Ragnarok Queen, Wurzag to kind of snare down the Knights, and I would imagine Foot of Gork. So you snare them down. If they come in with Grail Knights or Grail Guardians, that's why I don't really go expensive cav. I really think Knights of the Realm do enough. But Wurzag can come in, he can snare them down, and he can use a big old fat effigy to punish them. On top of that, we got a Goblin Big Boss on his Wolf, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there are some Orc Archers mixed in, some Goblins, but really, the core of this army are the Black Orcs, the Arachnok Spider, Wurzag, and then also, of course, the Pig Goon Squad out here on the far side. So now for our boy Wicked Z, one of our mods here on the channel, an absolute ace. He's got Peasant Mobs in the front, Foot Squires, Holy Wardens, a couple Archers in the back, and what else do we got? Spearmen at Arms, and he's got a pretty big cav core. Questing Knights, Defenders of Fleur-de-Lis, Companions. Yeah, I think Questing Knights are one of the best cav units in the entire game in terms of just cost effectiveness. Good against Black Orcs, good against armored monsters, enough sustained combat stats to really punish infantry. I think Questing Knights are one of the better units on the roster for sure. Over here we do also have King Lewin. We have a Damsel of Heavens with a Thunderbolt and a Manticore Summon. So no healing, but Lewin is very independent. He heals himself with the Blessing of the Lady, I believe. I can't remember which one of his buffs heals him, but it's really, really strong. So he's a durable lad. And that is that. So here we are, my friends. The first battle of this Last Man Standing King of the Hill stream, Easter edition, will be underway in just a moment between Wicked D and A-Move Hacker. So we'll see. Certainly a tricky one, though. I think Lewin is a good choice. Sword of Crown, very, very strong. He can do some huge beatings here on the Spider if he's able to get the rear charges, and also brings extra AP to the battlefield to help deal with the Black Orcs. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I don't think I saw Gotrek or Felix or any of those characters. Instead, he opted to go double caster. So I'm really curious to see his Damsel of Heavens here. So he has a Damsel of Heavens, and it looks like he brought Euron's Thunderbolt, which, yeah, that's curious. I think it works kind of like Piercing Bolts in that maybe it can do some pretty big damage to like the big targets. I'm quite curious to see. I've seen it with, Piercing Bolts with Lore of Fire, but I haven't seen this one terribly often. Wind Blast could have been okay as well to overcast and Shrek through most of the greenskin support. But the Spider is going to be a tough one to bring down. Lewin can do it, but he'll need some help, and it's not a great fight for him. The Spider is really, really tanky, has anti-large and poison, so he'll need a little bit of help from his Questing Knights or his other troops here. Good luck, have fun. The players are ready. The battle is underway. The first one of the day always takes a little bit of time, guys, to get rolling, but it's good. It allows more people to kind of gather and catch the stream. So Lewin's going to be flying over here. It looks like in the back there is a balls deep rear vanguard of the Moon Howlers. Perhaps he was expecting some sort of vanguard from the Bretonnians, which is quite curious. I wonder why he's hiding him so far back there. Or did he forget about them? We'll find out. He does also have the Broken Tusk Mob. These pigs are quite angry. By greenskin standards, very tanky. 90 armor is very rare among greenskin calves. These pigs are heavily plated, it would appear. Very, very cool stuff. Pigs are such cool animals. And here comes King Lewin. Someday, Anna and I, my lovely wife, will have a pet pig. We've decided we want a big old disgusting hog. King Lewin flying about, looking for targets, but the greenskin archers will keep him at bay. They're not going to punish him super bad, but I'm curious about how aggressive Wicked will get. I mean, I guess wait, send in the Foot Squires, start shooting with their Peasant Archers. Yeah, honestly, how many Peasant Archers does he have? 2? Yeah, just start shooting the Black Orcs probably. Even though they're heavily armored, they're not shielded, and, the damage can add up over time. So Wicked getting that nice surround. Companions here. We do also have the Defenders on this side, and it looks like there's going to be some flank pressure over here as well. Yeah, that's good as well. Going to the Archers, certainly not bad. I mean, that's fresh fish right there. Those guys will go down quick. So Peasant Mobs are going to be engaging with Goblins. The ultimate battle of Total War Warhammer. Pitchforks and hoes versus little prison shanks there from those Goblins. We'll see how that goes. Looks like the Goblins, of course, are winning. No surprise there. Peasant Mobs are certainly not very privy to combat here. Foot Squires are piling in now, and it looks like the Questing Knights are going to be weaving through the seam. Oh no, the Foot of Gork combo, guys. It's going to be happening here. The Companions. Oh, the Wrath of Gork is coming, and that's what I was telling you guys. Expensive cav. Oh god, here it comes. Boom, and it stomps the yard on those Knights. Destroyed. 27 models. That is a very, very painful start there for the Bretonnians, but Wicked pulls back really well and then pulls his opponent into a really nice charge. So despite that being a rough initial engagement, he was able to turn it around to the best of his abilities. The Peasant Archers, of course, winning the fight versus the Greenskin Archers. They are buckling off. A Manticore Summon has been used and is going to be going after Wurzag, which is really common. Sniping the Greenskin Lords is usually very, very powerful. Now on this side, Lewin does appear to be going after some goblins, which is quite curious, but I think he's maybe just trying to break this flank so he can collapse inward. But I think Lewin working with the Manticore to goon Wurzag, or have Lewin go after the Black Orcs, could be a little bit better, but nonetheless, hard to say. Questing Knights are in sustained combat over here, so these companions are fighting against Night Goblins, and now we have Questing Knights fighting against Spider Riders as well as Black Orcs, and doing good damage considering it is a 2v1, but still a bit of a rough situation. So the defenders of Fleur de Lis now going to be coming in, I would imagine, charging into these goblins right here, and it looks like there's going to be a piercing bolt of some sort going on over here, so maybe... Oh no, Wurzag's in trouble! Getting attacked by Lewin, and he's trapped up by the Holy Wardens as well. And this is how the Greenskins always crumble. Their lords getting gooned is such a big problem for them. And plus he also used his effigy to go after the, obviously the Questing Knights, which I think was the right play, but... Yeah, King Lewin's on the hunt, Foe Seeker activated, but the Broken Tusk Mob, oh man, Lewin just barely gets back up in the sky. That was a very close situation. How aggressive is Wicked going to be going after Wurzag? Alright, I don't know if I agree with this. Very risky. He lands in the middle of the Broken Tusk Mob and all these different troops, and he doesn't really have too much support nearby. He's got some peasant mobs. Although the Greenskins are kind of breaking in the front line. Black Orcs are getting worn down by Questing Knights. Peasant Archers are shooting in quite happily. And it looks like the Bretonnians might be able to break the front line. Manticore Summon coming in, that's just what he needed. And Lewin is getting some damage on Wurzag. Wurzag is relatively low, but Lewin here is surrounded by anti-large specialists. He 100% needs some help. And there are some Spearmen at Arms he could pull in, which would be very nice. Where's that Manticore Summon going to go? I would imagine it's going to just go after Wurzag. Lewin pulling up, and here it comes Wurzag at 1700. He gets hit right in the face, down to 1200, getting nuked here by the Manticore. And now Lewin was able to escape the caress here of the pigs as well as the spider. And I would imagine that pig is going to get hunted down. Nice effigy, though. It makes me wonder, though, maybe he should have used it to defend himself, because now Lewin is going to be just balls deep on his tail here. And here he comes, the Manticore Summon coming in as well. The Bretonnians in the front line, it's a bit of a wash. Black Orcs are enduring very well, but you can see here Lewin coming in for that balls deep kill. Will he get it? 972, so he did make contact with Wurzag. Oh no, and the Manticore is coming in as well. 700 negative leadership for a moment there. And it looks like Wurzag might get broken off the battlefield. There we go, used. Very well played there by Left Butt Cheek. He's able to stabilize his character and also get the Broken Tusk Mob over here. But Lewin does get the Terror out and the Spider Riders, has his Questing Knights, and now he also has Spearmen at Arms nearby. Will be quite efficient at dragging down the Broken Tusk Mob. So Wurzag a little bit trapped up once again. Wicked with very aggressive micro, using the Manticore to go after Wurzag. And Wurzag is broken. He's at 414, and there's Questing Knights all around him. I think this spells the end of the Greenskin leadership. So really well played to Wicked so far, really hunting down Wurzag. And, you know, Amuf Hacker has been doing a good job as well, escaping some of the pressure. But at the end of the day, I think it's been a little bit tough for the Hogmaster. And King Lewin being this healthy is definitely a very, very tricky situation. Peasant Archers still shooting in, and the Black Orcs in the front line are kind of being zerged down. It looks like the noble sons of Bretonnia, these glorious peasant mobs led by a damsel with her pimpkin here, have been able to work down the Black Orcs over the course of this long war here. And Lewin chasing off Wurzag is quite nice, but this is far from over. We still have the Arachnarch Spider, we have the Broken Tusk Mob here, who I guess is still in some fighting shape. We also have a Goblin Big Boss. So yeah, I think Bretonnia is going to have to form a Death Star, get some terror routes, and then, prosper from there. So going to minimize for a quick second, guys. Just make sure I don't have any stupid screen blockers up. I do not. Okay. Just super paranoid about that. So there will be a quick lag as I do minimize, but we're back in business now. And yeah, King Lewin just flying overhead, heading on over to try and salvage these peasant archers. I don't know. The Bretonnians, I think, will get this one because I feel like there's so much chaff. The Spider isn't like a great crowd clearing unit. And if Lewin is effectively used to hunt down the Goblin Big Boss, that could be really, really big for sure. What do we have fighting? We have Unbreakable Goblins fighting Peasant Mobs, Lewin flying over in the sky. It looks like the Spider Hatchlings are being used to chase down the Companions who've just rallied on the edge of the map, and the Goblins here are getting Shrek'd. This is a risky one. The Goblin Big Boss charging in there, and it looks like a Spiderling Summon is going to be used back here, maybe to go after the Archers. And all the Archer fire is being used to try and pepper into the Spider. I think shooting the Broken Tusk Mob would be good as well, but understandably the Spider is a huge threat. So the Damsels are being attacked. Lewin going in, and this is a big fight right here. This is going to be a big deciding factor. Spearmen at Arms need to get in there ASAP. Although there are some Goblin Wolf Riders coming in the back. The Moonhowlers could easily shut down these peasants if they can catch them. And it looks like there's going to be a Uranan's Thunderbolt going down here, which does a little bit of damage here against the Broken Tusk Mob. I believe they're not immune to psych. No, they have incurred. They're not immune to psychology. So Lewin's fighting. Spider is taking a bit of damage, but so are the Damsels. And now the pig support is gone. Honestly, I think going after the Goblin Big Boss might be a little bit better. It's hard to say, because you could kill him really quick and break him off and then chase him off the battlefield. Nice play here, though, by Amuf, able to get the Moonhowlers on top of the Archers and break them for a moment and get away with the Moonhowlers still intact. We got some Black Orcs coming back in here, and this just goes to show how truly hard it is for Bretonnia to deal with a big spider unit like this, especially when it has the Spider Hatchlings from the Arachnarch Queen. That's able to really provide some poison buffering on the ground. Like, this Damsel needs to get back. She's just getting Shrek'd so hard. Negative 44, she's going to break. And now the Black Orcs are coming in. Black Orcs, of course, are immune to psychology. The Bretonnians are able to win a couple fights over there on the periphery, but Is Lewin going to be able to drag down the spider? I think, again, cycle charging, like avoiding the spider, cycle charging the Goblin Big Boss would be more efficient than trying to go just fisticuffs here with the Arachnoid Queen. That's going to be really tough. I think you save that for last and then just surround it, break its leadership, and win that way. Over here on the edge of the map, we do have some loose fighting as well. It looks like peasant bowmen are being chased off. Really good presence of mind here by A-Move to get these goblins to try and chase him down. That's some value for sure. Spearmen are coming back in, and Lewin definitely needs a spear as both of his damsels have been broken. So magic is not a thing anymore here for the fair Bretonnians. King Lewin falling back using Foe Seeker, and the Broken Tusk Mob is going to have a hard fight on its hands here as the Spearmen at Arms are coming in, as are the Holy Wardens with 33 models, certainly not bad, and now the Spears have engaged against the Pigs, which is going to be really solid. So this is Lewin's chance to shine. Again, I would really try and goon out that big boss. I think that would be really, really strong. But I think he's going after the spider again. I mean, I understand this. The spider is the biggest threat on the battlefield, so instinctively I feel like that might feel like the best play. And I mean, if you can get the spider, then it's all worth it. But it's tricky because that little goblin big boss with his little pitchfork is going to be shanking you the entire time. Lewin still has some room in his healing cap. You can see he's at 1700 HP, give or take. Yeah, and like this, look at this little goblin right here. That is just fresh fish. Lewin could kill him in like 3 or 4 shots. They only have 2300 HP right now. But it looks like he's running from the spider, or from the little wolf. And his Holy Wardens and his Spears are doing well. Black Orcs are shaken. And here the Night Goblin's still going strong. And Lewin's coming in once again, having a bit of trouble pathing his attack here, but going after the spider. The spider is down to 3800, so he's getting good damage on the spider for sure. But here we have the Spearmen, Stand Your Ground activated. Holy Wardens, of course, doing a very good job, up to 66 kills. Looks like A-Move, though, still does have a nice force of little skirmishers here with the Moon Howlers, who can chase down these routing units, which obviously will make a pretty big deal. And now he switches onto the big boss, but also while being attacked by the spider, I think. Yeah, look how quick this big boss goes down. Really, really quick for sure. The Lion Shield activated, and now the big boss is broken. See, that's the thing. Like, had that been done earlier, it would have saved Lewin a lot of damage. But nonetheless, good play there by Wicked, getting the Goblin Big Boss down. Now I think you just chase him off the battlefield and rally your peasants, rally your troops where you can. Let the Holy Wardens fight. That Big Boss definitely needs to pay the Troll Toll. Although he's really fast. He's actually faster than Lewin, I think. No, not with Foe Seeker. Foe Seeker definitely helps Lewin catch that bad boy. Holy Wardens fighting. It's basically the spider here. I would imagine he still has some spider summons left. Bretonnia does have its damsel coming back in the distance, which is nice. A couple peasant mobs, and you can see how just badly this Goblin Big Boss gets manhandled. Although the Potion of Foolhardiness, look at that play there by A-Move, nice! It gives the little guy Unbreakable, which is very clutch, but he's down to 122. Lewin is in the danger zone, though. Is he going to be able to finish off this Big Boss? Oh man, yeah, he's got to pull back now. He's got to pull back for sure. The Potion of Foolhardiness actually made this little Goblin Unbreakable, which is freaking hilarious. 931 here. Lewin might just want to turn around and kill him right now, although the spider's really, really close by, so I completely understand him running here. And now now that you can see the potion is worn off, the little goblin is broken. And can Lewin fight the spider here? That's really going to be the question. He has spears nearby. The spider doesn't have too much support, and this could still be a Bretonnian victory. It really depends on how Lewin can do here. But if Lewin cannot break... Oh no, the army loss has crept up on him. Damn. What a battle. Well played. That was really, really close. I think just being a little bit more careful with the damsels in that fight earlier, and then also maybe killing the Goblin Big Boss. But he played a really good game. That is a hard matchup for Bretonnia. And he played it really well and was almost able to win it. But congrats to A-Move, too. I mean, he scrapped back, and A-Move did a really good job chasing off a lot of the units on the periphery. What a battle. What a battle indeed. All right, guys, that's our current leader. It's going to be A-Move. And next up, we have Jake. So let me go ahead and go to the Discord here. All right, so we'll get Kassar Jake in here. That was a great first game. What a nice one to start on. All right, so we're going to get our next player in here. We'll be on the Iron Sand Desert for our next map. Very good indeed. Welcome to the stream. TBD stands for to be determined. Yes. So let's go ahead and get A-Move here as our current King of the Hill. Very close fight there for our first one. An absolute scrap. Oh man, yeah, the Foot of Orc was really nice. There's not too much you can do about that. So, Kassar Jake. Let me go ahead and check in with our guy here. Make sure you can see the lobby. Enemy Steam ID. I'll see if I can add him on Steam real quick. All right, so we're going to be jumping into our second match of today's King of the Hill in just a moment. Hopefully he has the same. There he does. Very good. Perfect. But now we need to make some room in the lobby here. So we'll just open up an extra spot for now. So the next player can join. And yeah, what a match. That was a good match. Wicked, you played well, man. It was really close. It was really, really close, dude. Any tips for not losing my large lords to missile fire like Ushabti Grapos? Just keep them out of battle? No. What I would recommend practicing is go into a custom battle versus AI and then let the Ushabti Grapos shoot at your lord. Just give them a couple Grapos and try juking back and forth, side to side. You'll notice that a lot of the shots will miss. Yes. All right. So Kassar Jake is here. A move picks 3. His opponent bans 1 and picks. Very good. So this is the second match of the day. I believe it's the first time we've seen Kassar Jake, so welcome, Matt. Hopefully you've been having a good time in our Discord community there. And let's see how this goes. So A move will pick 3 factions. His opponent will ban 1 and then pick. And then we move on to the fight. That's that. That is that. Yeah, the potion was pretty good on the goblin. Him not breaking was quite nice. It allowed the spider to catch up. Yes. Yeah, I honestly think Britannia has some tools there, for sure. Wicked almost had it. It was really close. And honestly, they're both, skilled players. So it's, it seemed even. It was great. It was a really good match. It was a really good match indeed. Garland, welcome, man. Hope you're doing well. Aetherian, we're going to be doing the con stream tomorrow. Today is King of the Hill. I was like, you know what? We gotta do some Total War action. We got to do some Total War. It is the true heart of the channel, for sure. All right, so, yes, we are using banner rules. So A move here needs to pick 3 factions, and then his opponent will ban 1 and pick. And we are on the Iron Sand Desert. Map is set. What a great way to start. That was a really, really nice first King of the Hill game. Can't complain at all. Did you guys see the video I put up today with the Slan? Oh my god, that was like the most insane ending I've ever seen. It's just absolutely ludicrous. Addy, I don't know when the head-to-head with Sparty will be. I think he's really caught up in Bannerlord and not as interested in the head-to-head right now, which I completely understand. His channel's doing really well with Bannerlord. But yeah, we'll do it at some point. Probably maybe when like another DLC comes out or something. For sure. Our Bretonnian halberds, yeah, they're just not that great. I found them to not be terribly cost efficient against the big monsters. Green Knight, Gotrek, Lewin, Companions, they're all like decent against the big things. Yeah, I also agree with you, Guac. I think if they gave Henri Le Massif to the main faction, I think that would really help Bretonnia in a lot of these matchups. Because then they could go like Lewin, Henri Le Massif, and then like a healer and really have some serious punch against big monsters. Because Henri is a paladin with... Okay, so Amu Packer did Lizardmen, Dwarves, and Greenskins. And then Kassar Jake banned a Lizardman and picked High Elves. That's really good. Like High Elves against Dwarves is good, and High Elves against Greenskins is winnable as well. That was a really nice pick there, pick and ban by Kassar Jake. Like that quite a bit. But again, we'll see how he plays High Elves. We are in the Red Desert. I feel like A-Move is going to go... I don't know. What is he going to go here? Probably Greenskins. Although Greenskins really have a lot of trouble against Alariel if they cast Arcana and Forging on the Lord. Yeah, Dwarves, I guess. This is a High Elf favored matchup, though, for sure. You can see he's switching back and forth. He's like checking the roster. Yeah. Henri Le Massif. It's Henry the Massive. What do you think about Halberds plus Relic support? It's all right. The problem is, though, like, the Greenskins, like, infantry will beat them down, Even, like, the crappy goblins, like, put a bit of hurt on them with a little wah. For the new Siege rework, I'm hoping we see weapon teams on walls. Yeah, that'd be really cool. It's pretty frustrating when you're playing, like, a Squire campaign. Granted, you're already the most powerful faction, so you shouldn't complain too much. But, like, you should be able to put Rattling Gunners on walls and cannons on walls. Like, I'd love to be able to put Dwarf Cannons, like, mount them on walls. Oh, my God, that'd be cool. That'd be so damn cool. High Elves, I wouldn't say they're a weak faction. I'd say they're hard to play and not too many people specialize in them, but I think they're good. All right, so we have Greenskins versus High Elves, so if Kassar Jake is familiar, he should definitely go Alariel. Alariel, I think, is good here. Dragon Princes, Phoenixes, you name it. Like, they have a lot of good tools against the Greenskins, in my opinion. But what you do is you go Alariel, you cast Arcana and Forging on the Greenskin Lord, and then they will not be able to cast Wa for the first, period of time in the battle until they get in combat and really start to grind it out. Start when ready. Cool. Hey, what's up, Sotek? Hope you're doing well, man. So, apparently there was a stream that Creative Assembly had on January, was it February? I think it was February 26th, where they had a dev come on the stream, a Warhammer 2 stream, and talk about like the future. And they basically said that there's going to be reworking sieges in Warhammer 3. They didn't give any details beyond that, but they did say it's going to happen. Yeah. Got some fun videos coming for you guys this week. I have, pertaining to Warhammer, I have the top 3 best heavy cav units in Total War Warhammer. And then I also have the best unit for every faction, in my opinion. So, of course, it's going to be subjective, but pretty fun videos for sure. So those will be coming out at some point this week. So, Tech, you ate too much, dude? What'd you eat? What do slans eat? What did you have? That's pretty cool, yeah. He's painting a custode. Yeah, Thentox, I just saw the meme you tagged, man. That's pretty funny, dude. Yep, that's that. Very good, Sotek. Very good. Would add strategic complexity with cav and polearms. Oh, you're talking about in Total War, like how they interact with cav units? Yeah, it could be interesting for sure. Turin, would you like CA to move everything in the direction of 3K? Definitely not. I think they honestly, if Creative Assembly wants to nail Warhammer 3, keep it like as is. Like, don't add duels. Just keep, like, there's already duels. When you see Lewin battling like another big legendary lord, you're getting a duel experience, but it's not like something that you're trapped in. And like, I really didn't like the dueling mechanic. But again, I would keep it as is, add new content, spruce up the graphics and the battlefield like stuff. Like, so for example, make the maps really engaging and just add new units that are well balanced. I don't think you need to go too crazy. Like the formula, there's already a winning formula here. Don't try and change it too much. It's kind of like what Bannerlord did, right? Like Bannerlord is more or less just like Warband. I mean, obviously it's in early access and has its issues, but the reason why it's so good is it feels like Warband, but just like new and improved, right? And I think that's what they need to do with Warhammer 3. But that's just my 2 cents. My Death Guard army's doing pretty good. No, yeah, Sofa Muncher, the spoiler, I chose Longbeards with axes and shields for dwarves as my best unit. Samuel Christensen, happy Easter. Ever going to do a finals, a Trials of Tzeentch, King of the Hill? Maybe. Like, you're talking about an autogen. I think Indie Pride calls it Trials of Tzeentch, right? For me, I've always just called it autogen, so I have to, like, my brain has to process what you're talking about for a second. Yeah, maybe. But the autogen thing is hard to enforce, because I can't see how many times players like autogen, so they could keep switching until they get something they like. I think as far as, like, funny formats go, we'll do bad maps, and then we'll also do... We'll do bad maps, and we'll do 2v2. That's kind of what I'm focusing on right now. We're going to have a 2v2 tournament once a week, but now... I've learned my lesson. The 2v2 tournament will indeed be offline. And then I'll cast the replays on a stream. That's how we have to do it. It's too laggy otherwise. All right, so Kassar Jake and Amove Hacker loading in. Yeah, I would love a Musion subfaction. I think that would be really fun. That would be really, really cool. It Don't Tickle says, Turn, I found your channel because I was looking at videos on a city in Italy. Oh, yeah? Yeah, and you found my channel by looking up the city of Turin, huh? Yeah, I'll do another best of 3 stream this week where I play. Yeah, that's another format I love. Just grab a couple lads and have 3 best of 3s and show you guys some competitive play and some fun builds. If you guys missed that one, I played against King of the Dead in a best of 3 last week. It was really fun. Really, really fun stuff. Close games indeed. Some delicious water right there. All right. So here we have it, guys. It's going to be High Elves facing off against Greenskins. Kassar Jake, I believe his first time here in a King of the Hill, facing off against Amove Hacker. Front line's going to be Spears. Secondary line is going to be some White Lines, Lothern Seaguard, and Sisters, actually. Interesting. So it looks like maybe he is expecting a big spider. On top of that, Jake does also have a Star Dragon, which the breath attacks, if he's able to sit on top of the Arachnok spider and breathe down on its face, will be quite disgusting. He's got a Noble, and it looks like Alariel, I would imagine. No, Teclis, actually. So going very off-meta, I suppose. But nonetheless, Teclis does have regrowth for the dragon and does also have nets for sniping with his archers. I like it. I think it's a nice little build. A little bit tricky to defend because he doesn't have too much mobility to stop the Greenskin spiders and things like that. But we'll see how we can work it. And now for the Greenskins, and Amove Hacker, he's got an Arachnok Spider, he's got the Broken Tusk Mob, a couple of Spider Riders, Blackworks Honestly, this looks like almost just like his last build. Except he has Hammer of Gork this time, and he's got a Night Goblin Warboss as his Lord with the Tormentor Sword. Black Orcs, Archers in the secondary, some Skulkers to slow things down. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty cool build. Very interested in the choice here of the Night Goblin Warboss. I usually like to see Azag in this matchup. I feel like the Spirit Leech spam is really strong, and he can outrun the dragons and counterpunch pretty well. But again, he is a pretty choice target. Wurzog here is a little bit scary. Of course, Wurzog can get gooned pretty well, but we'll see how the little Night Goblin that could functions here. So Jake is going to be moving forward. Obviously, the Greenskins do have the Hammer of Gork, which will be hammering these sisters in the face, I would imagine. Now, Tormentor Sword is a snare, of course. So the dragon's got to be careful not to get caught in the Tormentor Sword nor the nasty Skulkers. But, you know, the Archer play going to be pretty punishing. Sisters will be able to drag down the Black Orcs pretty well. And I'm curious what he's going to target first. So here comes the Hammer of Gork payload. Going into the sisters, not killing any models. It looks like it kind of chips the edge. This one sister gets knocked over, but they're quite durable, these ladies. They get back up here, and it looks like a missile attack going into Teclis there. So the little Goblin Shaman with the Vindictive Glare and the Madcap Mushroom. So doing the 1-2 punch. Jake, oh man, Jake gets popped pretty good there. That does take quite a bit of Winds of Magic from the Night Goblin Shaman, but nonetheless, that was a really good play. Now, Jake also does have the Potion of Croy, which is like free healing, basically. So he is able to mitigate that, but it does get him closer to his healing cap. Makes me wonder if the missile attacks would have been better suited to go after, let's say, the Star Dragon or something like that. Nonetheless, though, I think that was a good start by a move hacker. So, Archers are coming up here. Lothar and Seaguard are on the periphery of the flank. The Lothar and Seaguard here are basically being used as like a buffer piece to screen out the flanks, right? Because they do have anti-large, they have spears, so they're kind of like a spearman unit defending your flanks. But now the sisters need to start firing for sure. I would probably shoot the Black Orcs. I don't know, I feel like if you don't deal with the Black Orcs, they'll punch through your front line. The Spider can be dealt with using the Noble and the Star Dragon. So again, I would probably use my missiles to focus down the Black Orcs. Another missile attack coming in, and here it goes, going after Teclis, and hits him again, but not too much damage, not too bad. And now comes the regrowth. So, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, though, for a move, that did bait out a regrowth, which is quite good. The Potion of Croy, I would imagine, has some cooldown. Jake needs to start shooting ASAP, though. He needs to start hammering into these Black Orcs. A little bit delayed on the targeting from his missile pieces, and here they come. Now they're going to start shooting Black Orcs, which is good. A little bit of friendly fire as they shoot into the back of their troops there. Kind of unavoidable. Chariot's coming in as well. Chariot will do some pretty good damage against the Black Orcs. Does have armor piercing and pretty good combat stats to boot. But the sisters are now shooting into the Black Orcs. Spearmen, of course, getting crumped. There are some white lines in reserve as well as the dragon. And now the Greenskins are pressing in. Goblins coming in the flanks. The Spearmen are able to intercept the Spider Riders here. So a bit of a misplay by a move, letting those guys get caught. Oh, and the Fiery Convocation's going down. This could be actually really powerful. Oh, and he nets them too. Look at the net from Jake. That was gangster. Oh yeah, and those Black Orcs get shreked, as do the Night Goblins. The Warlords boys get absolutely dumped on. So what a great play here by Jake. Able to hit the Black Orcs and also wreck those Goblins. That was really, really nice. Granted, the Greenskins have still broken through the front line more or less. Oh no, don't lag. Such a good game so far. Jake, A move. Hold. That was a beaut right there. But if he does disconnect, we'll just have to continue moving forward. But it looks like they're okay now. Okay, so just a little bit of a lag spike. Not consistent lag, which is really the important thing here. So these Black Orcs are now pushing through. The White Lines will rush in to intercept these guys. Here they come. And the White Line should be able to win this. The Black Orcs are very beat up and they're full health. And the Star Dragon over here is now in mortal combat. But Teclis should not be here. He's caught in a smoke bomb. And the Spider's giving him the business. And there's no real mass for this army. You can see your Lothar and Seaguard and Sisters are now engaged on by Goblins, which is a little bit precarious. And the Spider is, you know, fighting the Dragon, but the poison is very effective against the Dragon, putting its weapon strength down to 464. And Teclis is basically just trying to get away. Now over here we have Spider Riders on top of these units. We have some Archers shooting in, and it looks like the Black Orcs were broken off. And this one Brave Noble is like holding back the entire Greenskin army right here. Definitely doing a good job. And yeah, regrowth going down to the Star Dragon. Teclis has got to get out of here though. I don't know why he's keeping Teclis there. Definitely need to pull that bad boy back. Nonetheless, it's been a good game so far. Yeah, see, Teclis is just getting gooned here. Regrowth is active on the Star Dragon, which is the right play for sure. But Teclis, if he can get away, Potion of Croy. All right, that's good. But now the Star Dragon's trapped. And I don't know if there's too much support to really help it. As long as the Star Dragon doesn't die here, if it breaks and runs away, then I think that's going to be okay. Jake definitely needs to get some more value from its breath attacks, though. The Spider Rider's really pinning this thing in place. A couple of spears are coming to help as well. And the regrowth is the only thing keeping that thing alive. Black Orcs here are getting worn down. The Noble as well as the White Lions doing a very good job. And some of the Archers are back online. These Sisters are fully healthy. They're getting some good shots here into the hide of the Arachnarok Spider, which is down to 3.2. Star Dragon's, you know, 2.5. So if the Star Dragon can be saved here and isn't dragged down, I think there's some hope yet. So it looks like Nets of Damage Talk being used on the Spider. Good play right there. And the Star Dragon is trying to get away, but Spider Rider play here from A Move Hacker. Very, very good. But, I mean, if the Queen and the Spider trade, or if the Star Dragon trades there, ooh, nice potion of Croy right there. Noble going to be slamming into these troops right here, right into the Goblins, trying to free up the Archer line, which is definitely solid. And you know what? The Arachnoid Queen is going down as well. Currently, Balance of Power is in the favor of the Greenskins, though. They still have a lot of stuff. A lot of Archers coming in. Their artillery still firing. Warzag is full health. And the Archers are able to break the Arachnoid Spider. Very, very good stuff. And Teclis is back. And if he could somehow save the Star Dragon, I think the High Elves could win this game. But with the fact the Star Dragon is being chased off here by all the little Spider Riders, I think that kind of seals the doom for these guys. And now we have the Goblin War Boss fighting what appears to be a Noble. And a Fiery Convocation coming in once again from Jake. He's been really good with these all game. And here it comes. It looks like there's going to be a dodge here. So very, very good dodge. Not going to be caught in that twice. As the Phoenix comes scorching over the earth. And the Noble does get back. But I think there's too many Greenskins. Just the infantry are piling in. Skulkers are going to be engaged in combat here. Teclis is very low. And the Star Dragon is chased off. This was a very, very good play here by A Move. And you can see Jake saying GG. And it was a GG indeed. He played a very good game. Again, a couple little mistakes here and there. I think the one thing of his play that was suboptimal was his Star Dragon play. I think his Archer play, his Magic play was pretty good. His nets were solid. His Regrowths were good. His Potion of Croy was good. But his Star Dragon just wasn't used super efficiently. I think it really needed to be getting more good breath attacks. Like, for example, bait the Spider with the Noble, come in over the top, breath attack down, goon out the Lords. There's a lot you can do with that thing. But, yeah, well played. That's going to be A Move. He played really well. He played really well. The Fiery Convocations were quite epic, for sure. All right. GG, well played. A Move is saying that Phoenix deleted my entire Legion of Goblins. Yeah, it did. That was a pretty sweet Phoenix. And it hit the Blackworks, too. All right, so let's go to the next one here. So next up on our list, we have Bilbo. Bilbo Bagosh. So we'll see if he's here. If he's not, then we'll go to the next player. Yeah, the dragon didn't really pay off, though. See, that's exactly what we were saying. Should have waited to send it in and just gone for more terror routes. 100% Jake. And yeah, really good self-awareness. He's aware of what he did wrong, and he can come back and improve next time. For sure. That's a clean burning chaos if I don't say so myself. Yeah, Texas Spirit, you know what's up. You recognize some good King of the Hill references. Yeah, the Wa is quite ferocious today. They're quite ferocious. All right, Bilbo's here. I just saw his notification come to the correct color. Very well. GG being dropped by those two players. And now we'll go on to the next map, which will be... Let's do some Angui action. Kelpin Cold Dust is a little bit memey. We'll save that one for later. Angui it is. Yeah, it was a really good battle. It was a really, really good battle. A true scrap indeed. True scrap indeed. Hope you guys are all having a nice little Easter Sunday. Hey, Turin, hope you're doing well. Thanks for keeping us entertained, dude. I got you, man. We'll keep it going strong. Got a lot of fun stuff coming out this week. Man, I just want Warhammer 3 though. Like making that video talking about it just got me so excited, like of what's to come. The Snotling Pump Wagon. That would be a cool addition. Pretty memey for sure. Teclis is really fun. Yeah, he's got a lot of cool stuff. So let me make sure Bilbo can see the lobby. Of course, that is the dreaded circumstance of this game. Bilbo Baggins! Oh, take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks. All right. I see Bilbo is lurking. Yeah, Pablo, we got a pretty cool crew here, man. We got a pretty cool crew. Hey, Mr. Picot, hope you're doing well. I'm the king of the quarantine, yeah. Perhaps so. Perhaps I am. We got a donation coming in from Ben Flint. Never even played Total War, but your videos bring me joy. Keep it up, Turnski. I've never been called that before. I like that. Ben, cheers, man. What games do you play? If you don't play Total War, do you play Bannerlord? Is that how you came to the channel? How did you discover the channel? Was it just through the battles? Or I'd be quite curious to find out, brother. Ben, thank you again for the donation. That's really generous of you, man. All right. So A move. Go, go. So now we have Bilbo facing off against A move Hacker. Bilbo has actually, I believe, won one of our King of the Hills before. So we'll see how this one goes. Thanks again for joining today, guys. If you're enjoying the stream, do make sure to drop a like. Helps me out in all this YouTube treachery. We're getting some good rounds in. So Bilbo's here. After this, we have, how many more players? Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more players after this. 8 more players coming around the bend. So Too Stupid for a Name says, hey, not that there is something wrong with that, but I always wonder why you don't like modding Total War. I don't know. I just prefer the vanilla experience because I like to invest my time and my focus into what the standard format is going to be. Because if I invest time and effort in learning modded content, I'm going to become less skilled at the actual game or less knowledgeable. And my channel is kind of focused around, you know, having a topical knowledge of the actual game as it is. So that's kind of my school of thought. Yeah. Have you ever played Third Age Total War? No, I didn't. And I'm actually really excited for there to be mods in Bannerlord. Yeah. Like Lord of the Rings Bannerlord mod is going to be so epic. Oh my god, it's going to be crazy. All right, so let's take a look at the picks and bans here. So, okay, so, oh wow. So they're already done. So it's Lizardmen, Dwarves, and Greenskins. They move really on a point here. So Bilbo going High Elves and banning Lizardmen. And now we actually have High Elves against Dwarves. So we'll see if Bilbo is able to win this and unseat the king. Oh, I got to update the stats here. I think A-Move has two wins. No, I already did it. Okay. No, it's not going to be. It's not going to be the Empire. It is not. Bilbo Bagosh. I believe he's from Poland. That's where my wife is from. My lovely wife. Angui is the map. Dwarves versus High Elves. Players are picking their armies. We are doing it to it. I'm going to be doing a faction war pretty soon. I haven't started organizing the players yet, but we will soon. So fear not. Twice a month for faction war? I don't know. I kind of like the once a month thing. It really makes it kind of a special event. Yeah. I agree. I think this is a matchup that does favor the High Elves pretty heavily. It's winnable for Dwarves, but it's certainly tough. It's certainly tough. Bilbo doing a very similar thing to you. Yes, Jake. We'll see what he does. We're using banner rules today at Aristodemos. The ones that we use for the ECL and everything. We're just kind of trying them out. Thomas Meadows says his 2 favorite factions he can't choose. That's a tough one, brother. We'll see, Aristodemos. We will see. All right. Bilbo is here. A-Move is here. It is time. Let's get this party started. Angui is the map. Next up, after this, we have Aerocrastic coming in. Of course, you've seen him playing a lot of the captain modes on my channel. We've been having a great time with that. May actually record some after this stream as well, depending on how I'm feeling. I'll do some hand stretches right now. The breaks in between games are actually nice, though, because I can like take my hand off the keyboard and mouse and just take it easy for a minute. Thanks again, guys, for joining today. It's a pleasure hanging out with you all. And now we load in to Angui. Pretty cool map. I've always liked this one. I think it's pretty fun. I wonder who will start over here. Dwarves certainly probably would want this position. Although, granted, Dwarves, actually, this is a pretty nice spot over here. This like big open field. You just like camp back here with a couple artillery pieces and make the High Elves run to you. So I suppose it's a pretty balanced map. I don't think it's like super favored either way in the deployments. I mean, again, I think if you're playing an aggressive faction, you'd probably want this deployment here because you could just like run through the trees and like head right to their army. You almost never see anybody deploy over here in this part of the battlefield. Yes. Yeah, the dwarves are coming. The dwarves are coming, guys. They're here. They're here to grudge it up. So somebody in chat was asking about if they were to do a Warhammer 40k Total War, how would they handle space battles? I think they would do it the same as they do naval battles in this game. They would just have your armies like disembark and fight on like a moon or a planet surface or something, which I would be fine with. I never really cared for naval warfare in the Total War games. So I like the current system. But again, some people really liked naval warfare, but yeah, I don't know. Because then you're just basically playing like, you know, maybe Creative Assembly should just be like, all right, if you want to have naval battles, let's just go ahead and add Battlefleet Gothic to our game. And you could just have those battles like that. That would be very interesting. All right. So for the forces of the High Elves and Bilbo Bagosh, he's got a bunch of white lines into the sunset, which are, you know, not bad here. Good AP values. Decent combat stats against Dwarf Warriors and Longbeards. In the back, he does also have Silver Helms, and it looks like Dragon Princes. Very cool stuff. On top of that, we do have more Dragon Princes. Wow. Dragon Princes against Dwarves. I'm surprised about this. It looks like he has 3 of them. I would really expect him to go with like Chariots and maybe like Nobles on Chariots and that sort of play, but opting to go triple Dragon Prince, that's pretty balls deep. And over here, of course, if you're going to be going with a bunch of expensive troops that want healing, Alarielle is the best choice, hands down. So that's it. White Lion spam with Dragon Prince spam. Very interesting. And now for the forces here of the Dowie, Dwarf Warriors, and wow, look at this, the Peak 8 Guard coming in deep. This is exciting. We have the Peak 8 Guard, we do also have Grumbrindle, the White Dwarf, the Goblobber, Iron Drakes with Trollhammer Torpedoes, and what? The Scolder Guard? What planet is this? We also have Dragonback Slayers, and it looks like the Grumbling Guard. So a lot of RORs in this army. The Dwarf army is very unorthodox as well. I mean, bringing Scolder Guard and like, yeah, and Hammerers. He actually has two Dwarven Hammer teams. He's got one here and one on the other side as well. So we'll see what he can bring to the battle. Good luck. Say good luck to the players here as they load in. Prepare to fight this glorious duel over this Bretonnian turf. White Lions waiting in the trees, preparing to trundle forth on their opponents. Oh, there are some Swordmasters here too. Okay, I didn't see that. Pretty heavy investment in the Infantry Corps. Swordmasters certainly going to be the choicest of targets here for the Goblobber. You can see here A-Move Hacker using some Game of Thrones tactics, deploying his artillery in front of his army. Although, he's going to advance past them. He's not going to let them get charged, I would imagine. But yeah, you can see a little bit of Game of Thrones here, with the artillery being deployed in that way. Players appear to be ready. Good luck being dropped by both sides, and here it comes. The High Elves will advance the White Lion wall. Certainly the ones you want to take the beating. White Lions are pretty cool in that they actually have missile resist. A lot of people don't know this. They have the what is it called? The Lion Cloak, which gives them 30%. That's pretty cool against like Thunders and things like that. Certainly helps. So the Goblobber shooting into the White Lions initially, looks like, and now it's switching over to the other group of White Lions and hits them, but doesn't take it out any models. As soon as A-Move realizes, though, that these Swordmasters are coming, he's going to want to pressure those guys. The Dwarven Hammer teams are really interesting. Now, the shock damage coming in from the Cav can certainly hurt them, but they have very heavy armor at 100, so they will be relatively durable against the charges here of the Dragon Princes and the more elite troops. So firepower still raining in here on the White Lions. This is, again, a very different dwarf build because it's like a build that's really going to contest the infantry fight. Normally you see dwarves use like guns and just try and like layer them out and win that way, but it's pretty cool to see something different here. And again, if it works, that'd be really, really neat to see. So here comes the Dragon Princes and the Cav. Honestly, just hammering into the miners here and these other like defensive troops would probably be a really good play. Like you could just like charge in with your Cav here, hammer these guys, and then like just pull back. And yeah, and you can see he realizes this. Hammers in the front line. Here comes the miners, going to get wrecked here by the Silver Helms. Although Silver Helms aren't the craziest shock damage compared to other heavy shock Cav. Nonetheless, able to get some good damage there. Now in the White Lions engagement against Dwarf Warriors, they should win that, granted if there's hammer support nearby. And this is the one that actually took some damage from the Goblobber here. Now the Scolder Guard are shooting in. Looks like they're shooting at the White Lions here, who of course are really crumping down on these miners here. Should be able to break into the flank pretty quickly. Scolder Guard up to 1 kill, so not too much damage so far. And the Dragon Prince is really going for a full surround here. Alarielle does jump in the front, helping out against these Dwarf Warriors. Needs to watch out though. There are Trollhammer Torpedoes nearby, which can be quite nasty. We also have Swordmasters coming in, and you can see here that Bilbo wants the Swordmasters on top of the Peak Gate Guard, and he's going to be coming in for a really nice hammering charge. So here comes, when the Hussars arrive, charging into the back here of the Dwarf Warriors, hammering into that formation. That's really good, because now he can pull back through his own troops, which would be really smart, and pull them into the Swordmasters. So in the front here, the Dwarves are broken. In the back here, White Lions break the Miners, and the Cav charge of Silver Helms does get into the Goblobber. Now, even if they go down here, they've already kind of shut down the cannon piece, which is nice. It's really more important to keep the Dragon Princes alive. Those guys are the breadwinners here. The Hammers here are able to win a pretty decisive fight, though. You can see they won their fight and are overextending a little bit in the wrong direction. And now the Peak 8 Guard are making a valiant last stand for sure, but they're overwhelmed here by Swordmasters, by Dragon Princes, and these Princes probably going to be bouncing back here. Granted, there are some Dwarf Warriors to defend, but they're not going to do much against Dragon Princes. Here they come, charging into those guys. You can see the what are these guys? The Iron Drakes, yeah, a little bit surrounded, unfortunately. The Dragonback Slayers are coming, and could potentially slow down and peel down some of the Dragon Princes, but right now it feels like the Howls are getting a lot of value from their Cav, and also losing the elite troops. The Dwarven Hammers are, how are they doing in terms of the battle? Okay, one of them's in good shape. The Peak 8 Guard, though, are getting crumped down by the Swordmasters. Of course, they took all the shock damage, and now they're having to fight an uphill battle. And here comes another charge from the Dragon Princes going into the Goblobber, it looks like. Ooh, a nice smoke bomb there by the Dwarves, though. That was really nice. It's going to slow these bad boys down, allow them to be enveloped, allow the Dragonback Slayers to perhaps pile in and kill some models, and also A-Move is pulling his miners in to try and peel down some of these Dragon Princes. So honestly, A-Move's doing a pretty good job. And the Godlobber is shooting over here at the Swordmasters, which is a great play as well. Hilariel charging into the Iron Drakes with the Trollhammer Torpedoes here. Certainly getting some good value, and the Trollhammer Torpedoes are at 20 models. White Lions piling through should be able to eventually defeat those Dwarf Warriors, but honestly the Dwarves are starting to stabilize a little bit, which really shocked. But again, I don't think the Dragon Princes are the most optimal pick here. I don't really understand why you would bring them. Because, I mean, they do lack AP. Yeah, they're pretty durable, but I don't know. We'll see if they can pull it out. Dragon Prince is here charging into the Godlobber, and that should finish him off. I don't see the Godlobber surviving this. The Dragonback Slayers are kind of occupied over here, and the Dwarven Hammer teams are actually doing pretty well. 88 kills here. The other ones are broken, but not before they rip, 36 kills, I suppose isn't bad considering the circumstances they were in. And the Trollhammer Torpedoes and the Skulder Guard still shooting happily, able to pick off a ton of these Dragon Princes. So Swordmasters definitely need to carry pretty hard. It's still a winnable game for the High Elves, but the Dwarves have certainly emerged as a leader here in this match. Now the Grumbling Guard are coming in. Oh, Skulder Guard roasting some of these guys on the approach. Swordmasters of Hoth getting Trollhammered, also getting Skulder Guarded. And it looks like some Dragon Princes for Bilbo are going to be crashing in. Granted, there are some Dragonback Slayers nearby, but this is going to be a dual-pronged charge. Really nice. A Dwarven Sandwich right there. Going to be doing some work against the very elite Iron Drakes. Hilariel just temporarily causing some disruption, but she is beaten down here by Gromby, so needs to pull back here. And the Swordmasters are now engaged in combat versus some of these expensive troops here, but really nice use of the Grombrindle Has No Fear. He uses it to make sure that his Iron Drakes will stay fighting and kind of hold these guys in place and allow the Dragonback Slayers to really just go ham bone. Really close battle for sure. Slightly Dwarven favored as the Dwarven Hammers really start to surge in the late game. They're up to 119 kills, just going absolute beast mode here. Grombrindle Has No Fear has been popped, like I said, so they're unbreakable. The White Lions, when their martial prowess is gone, they certainly start losing these fights that they would normally be very efficient in. And their melee defense goes down to like 24 or something. So Dragon Princes are pulling back. Unfortunately, they leave the radius of that heal as they break. Swordmasters could carry here, as could the White Lions. That's a lot of very cost-effective AP infantry. Granted, the Grumbling Guard are still somewhat healthy as well. Something to kind of take into account here. And it looks like the Trollhammer Torpedoes are still online because of the Gromby Has No Fear. If that wasn't popped, I'm fairly certain that the Iron Drakes would have been broken and probably would have been chased off the battlefield. But the Dragon Prince is really suboptimal in terms of performance. 32 kills here. The other ones are rocking 23. They've done some decent shock damage, but again, had those been like other cost-effective units against Dawi, like Nobles on Chariots, I think this game would be just brutal for the Dwarves. It would be brutal. But here you can see the Dragon Prince is pulling back, and he is doing a good job with his princes, considering the circumstances. Some of the Dragonback Slayers are chasing the Pigeon Lady. Swordmaster still grinding out here pretty hard. There's only 16 of them left, and it looks like they might actually break the miners here, or actually the Trollhammer Torpedoes, but the Grumbling Guard should be able to polish them off. Definitely should. The Skulder Guard shoot again. Pretty cool to get to see these anti-infantry Skulder Guard doing work here. And you can see the White Lions just getting pounded by the proud Dawi. Always nice to see a dwarf victory. And it looks like it's going to be one. As you can see, the bounce of power is pretty massively in the favor here of the Dawi now. They still have the Trollhammers. All three of those guys, man, that Dwarven leadership is insane. White Lions are able to break off the troops here, but now getting charged here by the Dwarf Warriors is enough to break them. Alariel going in, trying to isolate the Slayers out in the periphery and take them down. The Dragon Princes only have 6 models, though, and it looks like we have 14 Dragon Princes right here who are going to be jumping into combat here with Grumbling Guard, which is going to be really bad for them. Grumbling Guard have great combat stats, and that is going to be a Dwarven victory! A-Move Hacker on a 3-0 run right now, guys. Will Aerocrastic be able to bring him down? We'll find out here in the next episode. The Dwarven Hammer is doing work. All right. Very well played. Very, very well played indeed. So let me go ahead and tag Arrow in the Discord. I don't know if he's watching or not. All right, very good. Very good indeed. Bilbo says, GG, see you next time. What a good sport. Now for the next map, let us go ahead and put him on Oakenhammer. And we'll get Arrow in here and have some fun. I'm a huge dwarf fan. I am a big dwarf fan indeed. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, the Dragon Princes, I think, were the weak link. A grudge written off the book? Yeah, most likely. So we'll see Arrow joining. Arrow is playing under the name Emmanuel Macron, I think. Yeah, that's Aerocrastic. Okay. So A-Move pick 3. So now we got Arrow coming in, trying to dethrone the king. Sofa Muncher, thank you so much for the donation. First we rallied to the king, now we rally to the feasting halls. Yes, we do, brother. And thank you so much for the very generous donation there. Yeah, those were very unorthodox builds. Smudge says, GG, the challenger, Aerocrastic, weighing in at 200 light pounds. I don't know if he weighs that much. Probably not, but... Yeah, that was a great game. Both players played well. Bilbo played well with what he had, but I think the princes just weren't able to do it. So, a move, staying with his suite of factions. He's going to go Dwarfs, Lizardmen, and Greenskins. You know, what I think might actually happen here... What the hell was that? My door just randomly opened. Sorry about that, guys. Is I think that Arrow might actually go with High Elves just to prove a point. No, it looks like he's going to go... He's banning Dwarves and he's picking Empire. Arrow, of course, speaks a couple languages, apparently. So we have Empire against Lizardmen or Greenskins. Okay, this will be fun. So Sons of Sigmar, arise! We are here! Your Lord and Savior, Karl Franz, I'm sure will be here soon. Who has better guns, the Empire or the Dawi? So Empire guns are a little bit cheaper. I would say in terms of cost effectiveness, I think Thunders are a little bit better. Simply because they're more durable, they're shielded, they're armored, so they last a lot longer. But again, it's if you just like compare 1-to-1, I would think the Dwarven Thunders are a little bit better. Granted, the Empire does have silver bullets and a couple other really good gun units, so yeah. Yeah. It's time. Yeah, the Dwarven guns are more durable. Skaven Assassin's opening my door. I know. Well, it's been raining a lot here. I don't know. And sometimes that can like warp. We live in an old house. I'm definitely excited to move. But Lady Turin and I were actually about to move like right before the apocalypse happened. And we were like looking to move and we kind of had some plans and everything. And then it's just like, oh, well, I guess we're staying here for another 6 months. You know? So it's going to be Lizardmen versus Empire. Yeah. Bring me to my men. Well, they will be brought, I'm sure. Oh, I was like, oh no, did my game crash? Take a look. Very good. I also ordered a second monitor, so I'll be a little bit better at keeping up with chat. I used to have one, but it faded into antiquity. Summon the Elector Counts! Yes, they're being summoned, don't worry, guys. They're being summoned indeed. The Elector Counts shall arrive, you guys shall be pleased. Macron not playing Bretonnia as a no-go. Yeah, you raise a very valid point, my friend. I know, Kelgar. You raised when Thorgrim forgot the Skaven slipped in. Got to watch out. Perhaps some Skaven assassins dwelling in my my keep here in Los Angeles. Scary stuff indeed. Scary stuff indeed. So the Easter King of the Hill is on the way. It's going to be Empire versus Lizards, so we're getting to see a matchup we haven't seen today. I wonder how Arrow's going to play this. Will he meme? I don't think he'll meme too much. Maybe like one meme unit, but I think he wants to win this, obviously. You know, the whole fun of King of the Hill is winning and then trying to stay there and defend the strap. That's like that's the charm of it. So we have Empire against Lizards. It is go time. Looks like the Lizards are ready. I wonder if A-Move will play this like a kite style, like Salamanders with Skinks and like that very kind of Razor Dawn style play. We've seen that been used by Hyale Nale quite a bit. Hyale is very, very good at that. And it looks like we're ready. So Oakenhammer it is. Let's load in. Let's do it to it. Will Arrow bring cannons? Will he go with an Empire heavy cav build? Pistoliers, Outriders? We will see. We will see indeed. I would imagine he probably won't contest the front line too much, although getting a couple state troops with shields is decent against like Skinks and things like that. It is Oakenhammer. I like Oakenhammer. It's a very simple map. Not too much. And sometimes when you're hosting tournaments and competitive play, you got to watch out for the maps you pick, because if you pick maps that allow players to like abuse and camp and force and play really miserable play styles, they will often do that if there's prizes on the line. But again, in King of the Hill, it's not so much of an issue, but we've run into that with Everchosen. There's like a couple maps that are considered to be good tournament maps, but if you pick it, you know, and there's prizes on the line, people just kind of will hide their entire army in the trees and send like one skirmish cav unit out just to count as attacking. Oh god, that's the most miserable stuff to watch and cast. But you got to watch out, my friends. You got to watch out indeed. 261, 260. We load in Aerocrastic against A-Move Hacker. The battle for Oakenhammer. How did they even get in this valley? Okay, so there's like a little bit of a... Man, the maps are so cool. And there's like a whole ravine over here and everything. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. Oakenhammer, I think, is the ridge that when you're playing campaign, Oakenhammer is the little valley that connects from the Dwarven Mountains by Karak Kadrin over there down to, or Zifbar, and it connects down to the Vampire Countlands, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so let's take a look at these builds here. See what they got. Looks like the players are just about to load in. Very excited to see the Sigmar army. I'm not sure what it'll bring. Yeah, and I'm not. Amove's really diversified his playstyle. He used to just be kind of a Dwarven defensive player, but he's really switched it up quite a bit. So for Arrow, he's got Outriders, triple Outriders, so very, very good stuff against big armor. He does also have a front line of Swordsmen, State Troops with the Sigmar Sons mixed in, a Jade Wizard, and Karl Franz, I would imagine. Yes, it is going to be the Franz, baby. Oh, yeah, Hellstorm Rocket Battery. Oh, yeah, so this is what I was saying. I think Arrow will go with... Okay, that's a big meme, actually. Double Hellstorm Rocket Battery. My prediction was like, oh, Arrow will bring like 1 or 2 meme units, maybe 1 like tiny meme, but he went balls deep, guys. So Arrow coming in with the double Hellstorm Rocket Battery, triple Outriders, some Empire Knights for battlefield control, and State Troops and Franz to hold it down. Now for the forces here of Amove Hacker, he's got Popcorn Cohort, which are the Regiment of Renown Cold One Spear Riders. Looks like a bunch of skinks who will certainly be having a great time with those Hellstorms. Cold One Spear Riders, skinks up in the sky, a Heaven's Caster with Wind Blast to go through gun units and State Troops. And who's his lord is the question. Oh my god, the dreaded Tic-Tac-Toe! He brought Tic-Tac-Toe, guys. So we have Tic-Tac-Toe versus the double Hellstorm. Now, Tic-Tac-Toe, I think, is less of a meme than the double Hellstorm. But again, we'll see how this goes. Tic-Tac-Toe is actually a pretty good assassin. If you send him after like casters and things like that, he can kill them pretty quick. He's really good combat stats at 55 and 50. But yeah, I don't know. The Hellstorm rocket batteries, I mean, I guess just shoot the red-crested skinks. I don't know how they'll do against like the cav units. The Outriders are very good. Certainly going to be able to keep Tic-Tac-Toe at bay and force back the Popcorn Cohort. If anybody can pull off these type of builds, it's certainly these two players here. The Lizard build is certainly less of a meme, if I had to just kind of evaluate it pound for pound. Go like have fun. Double Hellstorm. I mean, maybe he was expecting like a bunch of Saurus? I don't know. Blasting the skinks certainly isn't bad. You know, if they can wipe out a couple groups of skinks before they run out of ammo, he'll have to be very efficient with his ammunition usage. Like 100%. Because they don't have too much. I mean, 22 volleys. I think like each shot uses a couple of those volleys. Because it like really blasts out a lot. All right. And it looks like we're ready. Players are rearing and ready to go. The Outriders are going to have to do a lot of work as well. Salamanders are here, and there's not too many tools to shoot them. A single cannon would be able to kind of poke those guys, but where are the Hellstorms going to shoot is the question. Probably the red-crested skinks. That would be the choicest of targets, I think. So here they come. Oh my god, I can't believe this. This is so jankety. Okay, so they make some contact, but they're so inaccurate. Yeah, I mean, he hits a couple Cold One Spear Riders there, too. A little collateral damage going on. Arrow with a big old mobile force over here in the flank. I think he's going to have to carry harder with his other stuff. Yeah, you can see how many volleys do they go through. Okay. They have a fair amount of ammo, I guess. Yeah, and the skinks are getting bombarded, but it doesn't seem like it's doing too much damage. The State Troops are still going to have to deal with them. What is he going to switch to? Is he going to start shooting the cav? You could shoot the Cold One Spear Riders. It certainly wouldn't do terrible damage. And you can see here that Amove is coming in to get some Wind Blasts on the far side, which is going to be very punishing for sure. Hellstorm rocket batteries, still raining fire. Not doing too much damage to the poor little skinks. There you go. Now it's starting to actually do some work. And some chameleons actually mismicroed and sent into the front line. Heaven's Caster coming back here, not sure what he's going to do. And you can see, yeah, a big influx of forces coming in from Amove on this side. Cold One Spear Riders, red-crested skinks. The whole works. Now Arrow's going to be getting his juicy Outriders to start pounding into the Popcorn Cohort. And Amove taking a lot of damage from that for sure. Granted, some chameleons have broken through the lines. I think Arrow needs to get these Empire Knights and ride them down, and he does. Good control by Arrow. Should be able to polish off these. Not polish them off, but at least keep them from hurting the Outriders. Now on the other side, it looks like the Lizards are pushing through. The Hellstorm rocket batteries are now going after the cohort of Sotek. Missing horribly, as is expected. But, you know, Arrow should be able to compensate for the lack of firepower from the Hellstorms with his good plays elsewhere. He gets the Popcorn Cohort at pretty much no cost. He charges in with Franz, takes a little bit of damage, but for the most part, the Outriders are now shooting against the Salamanders, and he has been able to deal with a very powerful heavy cav unit, while his Empire Knights are also doing a good job locking down the chameleons. So far so good. Granted, the front line is about to break for the Empire. You can see here the red-crested skinks are about to get through. Hellstorm rocket battery just shooting in haggardly to the Cold One Spear Riders here. And I guess it's getting some decent splash damage. Franz is going to have to carry this one pretty hard, though. Empire Knights chasing off the Popcorn Cohort, and now we have another group of Cold One Spear Riders coming in. And the Outriders are shooting into the heavy cav, it looks like. It looks like they're going after the Cold One Riders. The Empire Knights attempting to make a last stand here. Tic-Tac-Toe is engaged. Franz has to come back here and help for sure. And it looks like he will. Ooh, nice Salamander play here by A-Move. Able to get the Sallies really blasting in here into the Outriders. And I think the Outriders might want to move like around the back. Franz coming in with the steel chair. And oh man, almost 2 shots. Tic-Tac-Toe. Tic-Tac-Toe, -31, -29. Franz leading the Nation of Men once again. And Tic-Tac-Toe just getting absolutely pounded here. Brutal stuff. So the Heaven's Caster going after this Hellstorm, which have been shooting in 28 kills here and 48 here. Certainly not that insane. And the Outriders are now pulling back as these Skinks and the other pressure elements start to really add up. So Tic-Tac-Toe getting beaten down by Franz. Empire Knights have the Reikland Runefang and are putting up a great fight against these Cav units. But the Hellstorms are pretty close to going offline, and those things aren't cheap. And they've really only killed a couple Skinks, and that's the main reason why I think this game is still close, is because of the inefficiency of the Hellstorm rocket batteries. So Franz doing a good job, but I mean, he could be out-muscled here. Although the Coldland Spear Riders are breaking off. Looks like a Wind Blast attempt going down here, perhaps, which does go into those Spearmen, doing some good damage. But the Salamanders from A-Move have been doing a really good job, and some Skinks have ambushed back here as well. It looks like Arrow's going to opt to charge into those little bastards and try and break them off. But now the Outriders are off the battlefield, guys. Very, very close fight here. Is Franz and the Jade Wizard going to be able to carry? I don't know. He still has a lot of state troops left, which is nice. But the Hellstorms are basically offline. They haven't done too much. Certainly the weak link in the army, which is giving A-Move a chance to claw his way back. Like, that's like, 2,000 plus gold that could have been spent on actually good units, which probably would have led to an Empire victory at this point. So the Outriders rolling back around. He definitely needs to get those guys back online. Tic-Tac-Toe is back in business, but Franz is still doing a good job fighting with his Jade Wizard here. And also the state troops are going to be quite helpful at peeling off these Coldland Spear Riders. Nice Harmonic convergence as well from the Heaven's Caster, leading to Franz taking a little bit more damage. And the Salamanders, not sure what they're doing. They're actually charging into combat here. This is going to be one of those classic, like, Franz carries games, I think. Empire Knights up here on the high ground, fighting against Coldland Spear Riders with a little bit of spear support, so that should be actually an okay engagement for the Empire. And you can see the bounce power actually does pull back for the Empire a little bit, as the state troops are able to come in and rally this position. And the swordsmen are now moving in to fight the cohort of Sotek, which is very, very beaten up. And you can see, yeah, the state troops might put this game on their back. Aerocrastic somehow still pulling ahead on the bounce of power, which is insane. Karl Franz lurking about, looking for engagements. The Emperor certainly does not have mercy for his foes. Well, perhaps he does in lore, I don't really know, but for this battle we'll say no. Coldland Spear Riders on the run. Empire Knight should be able to finish them off. Franz going to help win that fight. Granted, I don't know if he needs to. I feel like the Empire Knight pursuit is probably enough, but yeah, the state troops just kind of grinding it out everywhere. Jade Wizard anchoring this position, but he's got to be careful. Tic-Tac-Toe's coming in balls deep and might be able to get this Jade Wizard if he's not careful. Jade Wizard gets punted. A couple Coldland Spear Riders, and up in the sky comes the mighty Tic-Tac-Toe, the vengeance of Lustria, charging in and going after the Jade Wizard. Now, there are state troops nearby, some spearmen, but where is Franz? The Emperor needs to get back here. I think chasing over there was a mistake for sure. Granted, the Empire Knights might lose this, but yeah, he's needed here. If the Jade Wizard gets gooned, that's going to be a really big play for A-Move. And he's going down. No, he's not. He's okay. He's holding. State troops are broken to a horde, a morass of Skinks. The Sigmar Sons and the other state troopers fighting over here against Skinks as well. But Franz coming in to save that caster. Probably will get a pretty good terror out here, I would imagine. Focus Instincts used on the Coldland Spear Riders to keep them from rampaging. Ammunition pretty good here on the Umbral Tide as well. And the Skinks are also getting some really healthy fire into Franzi. Franz is not near his healing cap yet, or he might be near it, but it hasn't shown its face here on its health bar. So Franz still could get healed. Nice Wind Blast there by A-Move. Able to go into the Swordsman. We got a really close battle in our hands, man. This is an absolute scrap. Franz, though, with the terror routes here, should be quite strong. Focus Instincts, of course, just stops Rampage. Terror routes have gone down here. Oh no, Tic-Tac-Toe, you better pray, baby. Franz is coming for you. I think Tic-Tac has 90 speed to Franz's 90 as well. So now Franz is going to be jumping over here, going after the Salamanders, which is really smart. They're the biggest issue here. And it looks like Tic-Tac-Toe is broken. The Lizards have a lot of stuff, though, guys. We have Sigmar Sons, we have some Swordsmen, we have some Empire Knights coming in, trying to pincer into the Umbral Tide and keep those guys from doing their thing. But the Empire Knights are intercepted here by a horde of angry Skinks. And the Jade Wizard is actually breaking. Wow, really nice play there by A-Move. He's able to get his Heaven's Caster and go after the Jade Wizard. Very nice. So Arrow getting Franz up and around now. Ammunition a little bit sparse here for the Lizards. And now what do we have fighting? 44 Sigmar Sons. We have some Spearmen coming in as well. Franz needs to definitely try and save that Jade Wizard, perhaps. I don't know, though. If he does that, then he's going to be taking firepower from the Umbral Tide. He's also poisoned by the Chameleon, so he's very immobile right now. Nice jukes right there, for sure. Sigmar Sons going in. Maybe just fight with the Sigmar Sons. I don't know. That Jade Wizard going is pretty big, and you can see it actually is reflected in the bounce of power. Are Sigmar Sons and Franz going to be able to carry this? Hard to say. So Karl Franz, Reikland Runefang is active, which is going to give his state troops a pretty big buff. The fact that the Empire has terror here is really big, and that could be their saving grace. 21 Spearmen here, 37 Sigmar Suns. The Skinks are just swarming. Chameleons everywhere, Heaven's Caster being chased off, and it looks like Harmonic Convergence dropped on those guys. And there's still ammo on the Umbral Tide, which is really nasty. I would imagine Franz might come in for like a big rear charge to try and get a leadership break on these guys, which would be quite liberating for sure. Yeah, here he comes on the side, right into the flank, and that probably will lead to some terror routes. Obviously, Skinks are not happy about this situation. And the Sigmar Suns, man, these guys are just troopers. How many kills they have? 125, certainly not bad. And Franz is also juking while he's fighting here, which is quite smart. And the mass terror route is in play here, and you can see a huge exodus from the Skinks. And the Umbral Tide is very low on ammo. They have one volley left. We have the Heaven's Caster. I don't know if Tic-Tac-Toe is still alive. Do we have any other Empire troops rallying? It looks like, oh man, Tic-Tac-Toe comes back on the edge of the map. That's really big. Had Tic-Tac broken, that would have been pretty substantial. But it looks like he rallies at the edge of the map here. Will Franz and his remaining Sigmar Sons be able to carry this game, though? Despite the dreaded double Hellstorm, I think you got to come in and maybe ignore this. I don't know. Yeah, I guess he's going to go save the Jade Wizard, huh? No, he's going after the Salamanders. Smart. Cold-Blooded activated. Going to give him some leadership and stop rampaging. Sigmar Sons down to 26 models. Terror Route is still here, of course. A move with some really good control, getting these guys back. And yeah, there's a lot of Skinks coming back in. The Jade Wizard getting chased off is really, really punishing for sure. Franz does eat the last volley there. He has 18 Sigmar Sons. I think he's going to go try and save the Jade Wizard. Granted, I don't know if this guy wants to be saved. He's like, just leave me. Leave me, Carl. I can't go any longer. Only 14 Sigmar Sons, no state troops coming. Arrow's going to have to get into combat here in a second. And it looks like, you know, if you could actually terror out the Skink off the battlefield, that would be pretty OP for sure. Because this thing is like healthy and still combat effective. So Franz coming to try and save the Jade Wizard. A huge blow right there on the Skink Priest. Nasty, nasty stuff. If that Jade Wizard comes back, that's pretty big for the Empire. This guy's steady right now. He's not immune to psychology, so fighting this close to the edge of the map against Franz is very risky. And Franz gets him again. Man, he's shaking. Jade Wizard's about to break, though. And the terror route, you can see the terror route is active. And this guy might run off the battlefield, but it looks like he's taking a better route. Oh, man, that's brutal if he runs off the battlefield. Franz definitely needs to just chase that guy. We have Sigmar Sons still fighting here, only 2 of them. Yeah, man, that's brutal. Oh, that's brutal if he gets taken out here. Franz gets him in the corner. He's confident, he's wavering. Negative 44, negative 36, he is broken. That is a big play. And now Aerocrastic has 2 Sigmar Sons fighting. He's got some swordsmen coming back in as well. And Tic-Tac-Toe, man, I think A-Move has forgotten about Tic-Tac-Toe in the corner. 90 HP, and certainly not much, but I mean, a little bit of punch on Franz would be really big right here. And I don't know if this Lizard army is going to be able to fight. The last of the Sigmar Sons. Look at these brave souls, these brave Sigmarites, fighting shoulder to shoulder against a horde of Skinks. But alas, I think they're going to be dragged down by these guys. It's only a matter of time before they're swarmed. Sigmar will certainly welcome them in his embrace as they fall. What heroes, man. So now Franz basically is going to go over here and try and help his swordsmen. He has a swordsman negative 3. They're pretty low in leadership. Negative 18. I don't know why they're breaking so bad. So now it's just Franz. So what needs to happen here is Franz is going to have to land at the nearest possible unit and just start fighting. But even that being the case, okay, Tic-Tac-Toe did break off the map. So now the Lizards are, I mean, how are they going to fight this? I guess he'll probably just not send in everyone at once. Like maybe trickle in. Oh my god. Karl Franz the carry! Gal Maraz is activated, stand your ground. The Chameleons are broken. I don't know if they have enough to bring down the Emperor of Man here. As the Lizards go into mass exodus and Karl Franz carries the game. Despite the double Hellstorm, what a beast. Oh my god, that was a match. What a Royal Rumble there. Hellstorm's, of course, just absolutely terrible, but man, that was nuts. So the current leader is still A-Move Hacker with 3. But Arrow is now on the board. Alright, so let's go ahead and put Arrow here. Sorry guys if I don't read chat as much during the battles. I'm trying to focus on the commentary. But I'll get to your questions now, if there's any. Alright, very good. Sigmar, baby. Yes. GG, well played, being dropped by both players. So now let's get the next player here. King of the Hill. It's Galahad. Galahad. So Galahad, if you're watching, you're up. All right, one sec, guys. Just changing some of the list here. Very good. So Galahad, the mighty Galahad, quite a noble name, is here. Pillar of Bone. And this will be the next map. Man, what a victory bot for Arrow there. That was crazy. A-Move played really well too, but man. So I am Scrollbob says, Turin, I'm thinking of getting Vampire to the Coast. Are they anything like Skaven? Yeah, they kind of play similar, to be honest. They both have like Undercity type mechanics, and they're both like powder kind of weapon teams style factions. Yeah, so honestly, if you enjoy Skaven, I think you'll enjoy Vampire Coast. Yes. The Emperor prevails. Yes, he does. That was a crazy match. If you guys are enjoying it, do drop a like on the stream. We have 918 people watching. 153 likes. We can pick this beast up. Esben Broderson, thank you so much for becoming a member here on the channel. Really do appreciate it, man. And yeah, we're doing it. Esben, thank you, man. You have some new emojis now, and you also have the glorious squig icon next to your name, drawn by the lovely Lady Turin. Pharaoh is far down the list for sure. V-Claw. Yeah, he's a ways off. Coming up next, we have Galahad, Willow, Rubber Duck of War, Ice Power, Undertaker, Pharaoh, and then Decoli, because we had a little bit of a switch up on the list. Yeah, I mean, the Hellstorm rocket batteries were like his crutch there. Vampire Greenskins and... Okay, so... Aerocrastic is saying, what do you guys want to see? Vampirates, Greenskins, and then you guys get to pick the third faction. So just basically spam what you want to see in chat, and Arrow will pick from there. They will answer. Okay, so Arrow, they're gonna answer. We'll see if he obliges. Astos Moldova. I love that picture. Astos, what is that picture? Is that Winnie the Pooh with like the face of a... I don't know the face, but thank you so much, Astos Moldova, for the very generous membership as well. It does help me out, guys. So thank you so much. Okay, so people want to see more Hammer, more Helden Hammer. Unlimited power. Oh man, it's Arrow. It's all over the place, dude. Like everyone's saying something different, so. It's just anarchy. Like, I'm seeing every single faction be represented. Like, every single faction. Somebody yell Sturgia in chat. Oh, this isn't Bannerlord. Oh my god, guys. Alright, that's enough. I think you can try it. Arrow's brain is like that math equation meme right now, just trying to process like which ones he saw the most. Arrow says they're asking for a lot of things. Oh my god, you guys are ridiculous. That's so good. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what he picks. Arrow, it's up to you, brother. I see a lot of high elves, actually. I think I'm seeing a lot of high elves here. Somebody wants Ikit. Arrow is actually a really good high elf player, too. He's a really, really solid high elf player. So, I mean, if you're going to see high elves, it could be here. Yuri, we already saw a glorious Dawi victory earlier, though, Yuri. We saw one that was great. With A-Move Hacker, he had a not awesome victory against high elves earlier in the stream. Yeah, it seems like the most predominant one that you guys are saying is high elves. Somebody says Zerg. Oh, man, I miss playing StarCraft 2. Man, when StarCraft 2 first came out, that was like, oh, it was so good. Like, I really do miss that, yeah. Okay, so he's doing Dark Elves, Dwarves, and High Elves. Aerocrastic, he says his worst race, I think, is Dwarves. So he bans Dark Elves, and Galahad picks Empire. So Empire is very much countered by Dwarves, in my opinion. But, you know, I think Arrow might go High Elves here, since he's more comfortable with them. I'd be surprised to see a Dwarf pick from Arrow, because they're like one of his weakest factions. No issue, Galahad. All good. I'm just happy to not have to see a mirror match. Yeah, no, Vitek, you have a very good point, but at the very least, he was able to look at the chat and kind of like gauge. Okay, he's going High Elves. So there you go, guys. People wanted to see some competitive High Elves. We are in the Pillar of Bone. So I wonder what Arrow will bring here. Quite curious. Probably a bunch of Silver Helms and Spearmen and kind of that wide style of play. Oh, man. So Tahenwin of the Red Host in chat says, my mistake in watching the last game was thinking that Tic-Tac-Toe could beat a Jade Wizard. You are mistaken, apparently. Dom Fluff, this is a very funny looking Bannerlord stream indeed. We will have a Bannerlord stream tomorrow as well as a Bannerlord video. So tomorrow, I'm going to be doing like Total War focus like 4 to 5 days a week and Bannerlord on like 2 days. And tomorrow we'll have a Sturgia captain battle as well as a con campaign. Yes. So yeah, if you guys are new to the channel from the Bannerlord kind of a community and you guys have come in on my Bannerlord videos, definitely check out Total War. It's a great game. And we do a lot of competitive tournaments and all that sort of fun stuff here. But yeah, I'll be covering. Those are the 2 games I'll be covering very heavily. Of course, Warcraft Refunded, or Reforged as it's actually called, was a bit of a disappointment. So we're not going to be covering that too much. Yeah, that's that. We're going hard here. An all Karrigan High Elves build. You guys want to see the Khazate High Elves? Just mass horse archers? Hey, Bane, I will keep it up, man. Tic-Tac-Toe is pretty bad. Oh, Aristodamos. Yeah, did you see the replays? Let's not talk too much about it. We haven't gotten to that point. Unless, did somebody already post those games? I haven't posted my video yet, but yeah, those are pretty good games for sure. Yeah. The thing about the matchups I played against him, sounds good, Pone. Well, Pone, tomorrow's a campaign stream. But we'll be doing, I'll do some captain with you probably after this if you want. Absolutely. So yeah, High Elves vs Empire. This is a fun one, actually. I really like this matchup. So Galahad is ready. Aerocrastic probably making some final tweaks to his build. He is Aerocrastic playing under the name of the French president. No, I haven't played the Warhammer Underworlds game, no. Ah, you have your spies everywhere, says Aristodamos. Oh, clever, clever. Vomc says, hope Creative Assembly gets Total War Warhammer 3. It'll probably be a while, brother. Don't worry, Vomc. I know a lot of Total War content creators have abandoned... They've abandoned Sigmar for Bannerlord, but I will not abandon Sigmar. We stay firm. We're going to keep doing Total War content, always, even in slower times. Have you tried the new beta build of Bannerlord? No, I have not. No, I have not. Yeah, Tic-Tac-Toe is a really weird lord. A very, very weird lord. Oh, got it, Aristodamos. No problem. Don't worry, guys. The games are still really good. You should watch them. We have a donation coming in. 2 donations. I did miss one from Andrew Cohen, so no message from Andrew. But Andrew, thank you so much for the fiber. Really appreciate it, man. If you have any questions in chat, just if you really want me to see a question in chat, if you at Turin, it like highlights it. Otherwise, it's like can kind of get lost. Bunk Moreland with a $2 donation or £2 donation. Macron must save Bretonia. Well, he's playing High Elves today, so we'll see how this goes. We will see how this goes indeed. All right, we're ready. Let's load in. Aerocrastic, ever-chosen champion against Galahad, the noble challenger, son of the Empire. We'll do it to it. Speaking of Empire, I don't really like playing Empire too much in Bannerlord because I feel like they just always steamroll the campaign map. Like, I've watched Lady Turin play like a couple Let's Plays and like, because she's put in way more hours in Bannerlord than I have, and at least in the campaign, and they like always seem to just steamroll. Like all the like Battania just gets karate chopped in the mountains every time. All right, here we go, guys. Pillar of Bone has loaded in, and it is time. We'll see if Aerocrastic can get a second win on the board and do surpass A-Move, who has 3, so he's going to have to win a couple, obviously, for that. What are your thoughts on the 4 races coming with Warhammer 3? You know, they're not confirmed yet, so I have no idea. But if I had to say, I prefer playing 40k tabletop right now. Because again, Warhammer Fantasy just isn't as this is. So I would prefer playing 40k at the moment. For the races that are coming, I think we're going to get a sub-faction for each different Chaos God. Like a Chaos Demons, I think there'll be... Here's what I think. I think there'll be 4 factions for each Chaos God. So it'll be Nurgle, Slaanesh, Khorne, Tzeentch. And those factions will have access to greater demons and like mid-tier demons. All right. So if you want to play Nurgle, you're going to get great and clean ones. You'll get the Plague Toads or Plague Beasts of Nurgle. You'll get like the higher tier demons. Whereas I think Chaos Undivided will be able to pick Chaos Warriors. Like I think Chaos Warriors will become Chaos Undivided, but Chaos Undivided will have the Chaos Warriors roster, but they'll only have minor demons. So if you're playing like Chaos Undivided, you can't bring the big scary demons from the factions. Like you can only bring like Nurglings or maybe Plague Bearers and Demonettes and like, the Pink Horrors and things like that of Tzeentch. And I think that to make the other Chaos factions really unique, I think it's going to be like all the different Chaos gods are just going to be like have their own really unique faction. So like if you're playing Khorne, for example, you'll have like Khorne Special Warriors. You'll also have Bloodletters. You'll have the Blood Crushers. You'll have the Hell Cannons, the Skull Cannons, Bloodthirsters. Yeah, I don't know. That's my prediction. And then aside from that, Chaos Dwarves, Kislev. I think the fact that Games Workshop revealed Kislev as a faction that's coming back is a pretty big tell, because usually Games Workshop and Creative Assembly are kind of in sync with that. Chaos Dwarves, Ogre Kingdoms, Chaos Dwarves, Ogre Kingdoms, Chaos Dwarves. Yeah, did I already say that? Chaos Dwarves, Ogre Kingdoms. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. Gotta focus on the game. All right, guys, we're here. Galahad advancing with a wall of spearmen. He has some Demogryph Knights. It looks like he does also have 2 Empire Knights and 2 Outriders on the far side. Arocrastic with a more defensive build. Archer-based. Look at this. Arrow going with the double Handmaiden of the Ever Queen. Now, these guys actually have really good AP missiles, so they could potentially pepper into Franz here. Now, on the front, we have the Sigmar Sons advancing. A fully erect Dragon Prince charge into these swordsmen is going to be brutal. The High Elves coming in and destroying those swordsmen. That is like the most choice engagement for them possible. You can see half HP stripped off those swordsmen immediately. And the other Sigmar Sons, of course, advancing into a hail of gunfire from the Sisters of Avalorn, which have now switched onto the Demogryph Knights with halberds. On the far side, we do have the pressure piece coming in from Empire Knights and Galahad, but Arrow's screening really well, using the Spearmen here to make sure those guys don't really get good angles of fire. Granted, some of the Dragon Princes are taking a bit of work, and Franz coming in certainly has some work to carry here as his troops are taking a beating, but Franz is able to get a good engagement on the Handmaiden here. Granted, Teclis is nearby, and Handmaidens are anti-large specialists and melee as well. So 3v1 situation, Franz a little bit trapped up, and I would imagine some of these archers might switch their fire onto Franz here. A net of Ammonchok could follow up, and Franz could get taken out very quickly. So there's also some great swords for Galahad. Great swords are advancing in, but both of them taking some heavy pounding here from the Sisters. And it seems like Galahad is having a big problem getting his Demogryph Knights and his Cav units engaged. They're kind of in awkward engagements all over the map. So a net of Ammonchok going down on Boris. Oh, that's Boris. Okay. So Toddy here is being focused heavily by the Sisters, and the Headmaidens of the Everqueen can now shoot with their AP ranged attacks and start shooting into Boris Todbringer. So this game is massively in the favor of the High Elves right now. Arocrastic putting on an absolute clinic here. So here we have the White Lions fighting in the front. Flaming Sword of Ruin is activated. The Great Swords are buckled under the pressure of the Dragon Princes, who are augmented by the Flaming Sword. And the Demogryph Knights are trying to get in, but they're probably going to start losing models here to Teclis and the Handmaidens. Granted, if this was a vacuum, this would be a good engagement for them, but they're losing models fast. There's white lines all over their tails here, and it looks like the Empire is just being dismantled here. And again, it's easy. It can happen easily against a really good player like Arrow here. So Dragon Princes opting to take an engagement. Obviously, they will win against Empire Knights. So a thunderous charge as they couch their lances and charge into one another. But Dragon Princes are a much better Cav unit in a vacuum than Empire Knights. In terms of cost effectiveness, Empire Knights might be better. But here, a net of Ammonchok is coming down here. Not really sure about the purpose of that. I think he's going to pull back the Empire Knights. And okay, so he's locking them in place so his Outrider Corps can shoot here. Toddy's running for the hills. And players just saying, good luck, have fun. So in the back, those demis are pushed off by the Handmaidens, as well as the Lothern Sea Guard. Sisters of Avalorn still shooting quite happily, getting some huge firepower here into the Empire Knights. And I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's looking pretty grim bones for the Empire. The archers are still in really good shape, and now the Sisters are going to be able to just unleash hell into the Outriders. And if Toddy decides to come back for even a second, and the Sisters come in, or Teclis drops a net on him, he'll go down in a matter of seconds. And I think that's going to be a pretty quick victory here for Arocrastic and Acer. So again, Dragon Prince is still grinding it out with Empire Knights. That's what's really good about Empire Knights. Even if they're fighting uphill battles, their 110 armor can really often carry them very far. So now the archers are shooting into Toddy here. Good juking by Galahad, pulling back and forth, mitigating some of that incoming fire. The Sisters of the Handmaidens of the Everqueen able to push back the last of those Demogryph Knights who are now broken off. And I wonder if he's going to get the Handmaidens and start shooting up into the sky into Boris here. Toddy jumping in, landing amongst the Spearmen, able to get a nice terror out. So that's a good play. Good scrap here in the fourth quarter, but the bounce of power is getting scarier and scarier as the Dragon Princes do get a juicy rear charge into the back of the Great Swords, who are buffed by Faw's Protection, which is quite nice, giving them 125 armor, but that is not going to be enough to stop that shock damage coming in. Lothern Sea Guard, going to be a hard counter here against Outriders. Outriders can't really do anything to them. And now you can see that Boris Todbringer is netted. All the Sisters are shooting him, or the Handmaidens and the Sisters. And he's at negative 111 leadership. Pretty substantial there. And Toddy is going to be going down. Arocrastic with a very nice high elf victory. So well played. Well played indeed. A donation coming in from Yuri Campos. He says, love from Brazil, Turin. More Dawi videos, please. I got you, man. Dawi are always on my scope. Well played. That was a really good game. Really good game indeed. So let's go ahead and update the scorecard. Arrow currently 2 here. Coming after A-Move Hacker. And now, next up on our list, we have a Rubber Duck of War. So let me go ahead and tag him in the Discord. Rubber Duck. Got you the password and everything. Well played. Aerocastic, certainly a fierce foe. Galahad says, dang, the GS didn't work out great for me. And Arrow says, yes, they're a bit of a risky inclusion. Better to go with more knights, he says. Good feedback indeed. Now we'll be on River Amazon for our next map. Map is set. And we're loading in. Yeah, Lions can be pretty good with support, for sure. Yeah, it was some really good micro, really good control by Arrow, yeah. I know. Alejandro, you like the thumbnail? Hank Hill with the Karl Franz helmet on. That's like Hank Hill looking into a Chaos Invasion with like the burning flames. Dragon Princes can do work. They're really good against light infantry. So like state troops, man, state troops just get wrecked by princes. Yeah, it's a tricky one, guys. And again, Yuri, thank you for the donation from Brazil. A lot of good, I'm a huge UFC fan, and so many good MMA fighters are from Brazil. Anderson Silva, just the works, man. All those guys. Damian Maia is pretty awesome as well. Yeah, Dragon Princes aren't bad. They're definitely good. I think that, I don't know if they're like in the top 3 for the best heavy cab, but I would certainly say they would be like number 4 maybe. 4 or 5, yeah, hard to say. And now we're on the River Amazon. As a Rubber Duck of War prepares to step to the plate. All right, so he says he wants an invite. Let me find him. Is he on my friends list? Let me go ahead and track him down. I really wish this wasn't like an issue with this game. Like having to Rubber Duck of War. See if we can find him here. Okay, one sec, guys. We'll be here in just a second. Rubber Duck. Very good. So I sent you an invite. Sent friend. All right, guys, just get in the next lobby here in a moment. Rubber Duck should be on my friends list now, and he is. Now we can invite to the lobby. Very good. We're all set. We're all set, my friends. Oh no, Aerocrastic says he has to go. What a tragedy. Well, at least you guys got to see some glorious battles, so that will be it for Arrow. I believe. Let's see. Okay, he says, I have to make a couple phone calls right now, actually, so bring Galahad back. I won't be back for at least an hour. Well, we'll see. So, Rubber Duck is going to face Galahad. Although we could just go to the next opponent as well to get those guys going. Hang on, let's see here. So Arrow could potentially come back at the end, so I'll add him to the end of the list, and if he is back by that time, we can have him jump back in and try and defend his strap. Go get him, Galahad. Round 2. So we'll have Galahad come back in and do the stand-in at the moment. So Arrow will be at 2, and if Arrow does come back, the top 3 heavy cab, I actually made a video, but it'll be going up in the next couple days, so stay tuned. I did say it earlier in the stream, but Arrow said he may be able to come back in after an hour, so we'll see. We will see, my friends. All right, very good. Yeah, the Handmaiden was really good. The dual Handmaiden play, that was quite impressive. It was really, really solid. All right, so pick 3. Go, go. So Galahad is going to do the pick since he was technically the player from the last round. So he'll pick his 3. Rubber Duck of War will do his thing here. And Arrow is at, I'm going to go to the current leader and update this. And then we're just going to put arrow in parentheses at 2. So if he does decide to come back, we'll at least have a record of what his current score was. So let's make this a little bit smaller here. That's what she said. Doesn't need to be that much bigger. Very good. Okay. Franz is Hank. Dale is Gelt. Boomhauer is Toddy. Yeah, Boomhauer could be Toddy. Bill is Volkmar. I know. I've done those thumbnails before. They're pretty good. All right, let's see how this goes, my friends. So he picks High Elves, Empire, and Lizards, and Rubber Duck of War bans Lizardmen, and then he picks a faction against either High Elves or Empire. So we'll see what he picks. River Amixon, pretty good map for a multitude of strategies. Has plenty of terrain to hide from missile factions. Oh, is he going to go High Elves? Rubber Duck looking like he wants to play High Elves today. Yes. Yes, you do pick, and then he picks from his remaining 2 factions, bud. So we will see how this goes indeed. All right, here we go, guys. Hey, what's up, Darth Pendragon? Hope you're doing well, dude. I was just hyping him up about the video. Good to see you, man. So Aristodamos, my list is a little bit different than yours. I do have the same number 1 pick as you, but my other ones are different. Yeah. Yes, indeed. And Doom Wheel for the 3 picks. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please do drop a like. Helps me out. Lets YouTube know that people actually enjoy watching Warhammer, which is good. Galahad says he's going to redeem himself. All right, so we have High Elves against Empire once again. And Galahad, the brave champion, going to be coming in and try and redeem himself. It's fine. No worries. It'll be interesting to see what they do differently. That's like, will Galahad change his build against what he just experienced? Hey, Steph, happy Easter to you too. Today is a good day in Ulthuan. Yeah, it is. We've had some good High Elf play. That's for sure. I've had some really, really good High Elf play today. Ride out and meet them. Ride out and meet them. You know, just like looking back, like nothing beats Lord of the Rings. Like nothing. It's so damn good. We have a donation coming in from Tired of URL. Well, no message with that, but thank you for the donation. I really do appreciate it. If you have a message, please feel free to type it in chat, and I'll hopefully answer it for you. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of High Elves today. I know, Knighthood's all excited. He's like, it's my Dreamcast. Yes, demis are on my list. Yes, they are on my list. I love Demogryph Knights. I feel like what they do for the Empire is really, really powerful. Yeah, Aristodamos, you basically just like said the rest of my list. All right. Knights Errant are really good, though, from a cost-effectiveness standpoint. They're really solid. All right, so Galahad is ready. A Rubber Duck of War. We recently had a YouTuber tournament, which I'm slowly posting the replays of. And yeah, Rubber Duck was in the tourney as well and did pretty well. Yeah, it has to be Blood Knights. They are Monstrous Cav. I kind of keep them in the same category, though, Jason, because they kind of accomplish the same thing. Like, yeah, they're Monstrous Cav, but like if you were to do an analysis of Monstrous Cav units, there's not that many. They basically kind of have the same functionality. Oh, I'll certainly play a lot of Chaos Dwarves. I'll certainly play a ton of Chaos Dwarves if they're eventually... I'm sure they'll be added. I'm sure they'll be added. What do you think of Squig Riders? I think they're really good, Bonry. I think they're very, 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 very cost effective. They have bonus force infantry. They poison, good AP values. For that cost, that's a pretty sweet deal. All right, guys, we're on River Amixon. We have Galahad against a Rubber Duck of War. If you guys haven't seen Rubber Duck of War, he is also a content creator. If any of the mods can link to his channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. Now we're going in hot on River Amixon. Aerocrastic stepped out to make some phone calls, perhaps maybe back later to try and claim the King of the Hill strap. But we'll find out. So far, the most wins have been from Emu Packer, who did open up our stream, getting 3. And now we're here. So Galahad going with Karl Franz this time. So yeah, let's take a look at how he changed his build. State troops in the front. He did bring the silver bullets this time. Jade Wizard Franz instead of a Toddy. And it looks like he has demis with halberds and 2 pistoliers instead. Because he had Outriders before and also brought an artillery piece, which I think is smart. I think Hammer the Witches is pretty good against High Elves, especially against like Dragon Princes and things like that. Oh my god! Oh my god! Rubber Duck of War! Ride out and meet them! He's got silver helms into the sunset. Silver Helms, Illyrian Reavers, Reaver Cav. It looks like he's going for a Khazate build. He's got Dragon Princes, triple, including the Fireborn, Alariel, and a Noble. So, yeah. So he literally goes for a mass Cav build. Mass Cav. Silver Helms, Reavers, Princes, Reaver Cav, Archers. And that is it. Oh my god. This is going to be super micro-intensive. But, you know, I honestly think this build could be really overwhelming for the Empire. Granted, what's really nice for Galahad is he did bring 2 demis with halberds, which will be very effective against all these units. So really, it's going to be, you know, come down to micro and timing and all that sort of good stuff. I think both players have the keys to win this. Hammer the Witches is great, as is the demis, as is Franz. So there's a lot of good tools here, and of course Silver Bullets, but I don't see them lasting too long against this onslaught of Cav pressure. Quite a build. Quite a high elf build. The Rohirrim build. Coming in hot. Although it feels wrong to call the high elves like Rohirrim simply because, you know, the men of Rohan were certainly not elves. Dragon Princes, going to be pretty powerful. Of course, we saw how effective they can be against state troop front lines. Those demis are going to have a lot of work cut out for them. They're going to have to really stop a lot of this charge. What do we have? A Noble on horseback with anti-large, so no handmaidens this time. I really like that handmaiden play from Arrow. That was really cool. And Alariel the Radiant does have Tempest, which is nice, so she can keep Franz at bay for a period of time. Tempest, of course, does a lot of damage and also slows him down. So if Franz is trying to get a little bit too ham, she can Tempest him and cause problems. We'll see if Galahad can redeem himself as he's claimed. Rubber Duck of War says, I heard a rumor that Gondor was calling for aid, and the High Elves shall answer. We'll see. We will see, guys. And Galahad says, hell yeah, but probably not knowing the circumstances of that statement, what that entails. Reaver Archers are a pretty good answer against Pistoliers. They have better range, better combat stats. They can usually outtrade them pretty effectively. Granted, Pistoliers, of course, can stick and move and play a little bit more defensively. Hammer the Witches will be very nice, like I said. Definitely want to just shoot Dragon Princes if you can. Yeah, and it looks like the Princes are the target. The first shots have taken out a couple Princes, so they've lost 3 so far. And now in the front, we do have the Silver Helms charging in. Will he pull back those Pistoliers quick enough? It looks like he will. Also, nice play. He does have the Silver Helms shooting into the Reaver Archers, which is pretty good. And a frontal charge coming in. We'll see how quickly the Demogryph Knights react. Although it looks like there's going to be another charge into these poor state troops who are swordsmen, so they can't brace for this. They're just going to get wrecked once again. Same thing happening on the other side. However, the Demogryph Knights are in position here. So Galahad gets a nice countercharge on this side, which means a lot of the Silver Helms are going to be taken out by the Royal Altdorf Griffites. Now over here, Karl Franz coming over to chase down the Silver Helms. And got to be careful. Tempest could lock him down. Granted, it looks like Teclis is on the other side of the map, so he should be okay. And now we have the Pistoliers pushing back out, and the back pressure coming in as well from the Reavers. What is going to be back here to deal with them? And that's oftentimes why you see a lot of Empire Knights in this matchup, just to kind of cover more ground. And the Rohirrim riding around. Oh no, but the Reavers are mismicroed by Rubber Duck. Both players mismicroing here. I don't think they realize, but you can see Galahad notices it first, and is able to get on and actually really punish the Reavers before they retreat. In the meantime, Franz is afflicted by Tempest, which will do damage and lock him in place, but you know, the Sons of Sigmar are holding pretty well here. Honestly, haven't taken too much damage on their demis. The state troops have taken a pounding, as have the Pistoliers, but for the most part, oh, the full frontal charge, here it comes! This is going to be some heavy shock damage. Fireborn, Dragon Princes, let's get a cine of this. Oh yeah, look at that, just riding right into those state troopers. The other Dragon Princes surging past, right into the hides of the Silver Bullets, and the other heavy cap, the Fireborn, have gotten right into these guys as well. So brutal frontal charge for sure. These state troops not going to hold for too much longer, I would imagine. Granted, the counter charges from Galahad have been good. The demis will be able to sweep in and deal with these Fireborn here. And Karl Franz, oh no, this is really rough. This could actually lose Galahad the game. I think Galahad was in pretty good position, but if Franz gets taken out this early, that could be an absolute disaster. But it looks like he's able to get away, more or less. At least if he can run back to his demis. Oh, a big cav fight is brewing. Fireborn being dragged down by the Royal Altdorf Griffites. Here comes the charge! Demis into Dragon Princes. Nice. Demogryph Knights with their really good mass should be able to hold these guys back. And the Emperor, he endures. Shall pull back up into the sky, jumping in once again to perhaps help. No, he's going back here to try and save the Silver Bullets. It's going to take some time to peel those guys out. And the Hammer of the Witch is about to get taken offline. Spearman a little bit out of position, and the Reavers jump on that bad boy. Granted, they still might be able to peel it. But the Demogryph Knights just bullying the High Elf Cav. You can see the Fireborn got shreked. The Princes and the Silver Helms here really got wrecked as well. So it's a tough fight for both players. Here, Silver Helms being attacked as well. Spearmen have piled in and perhaps could clear out those Reavers in a matter of moments here. But the High Elves still have a lot of mobility, a lot of healing. It's a very even battle. Demogryph Knights coming back in. They certainly need to carry this game. The Spearmen doing a really good job. You can see the Illyrian Reavers are about to shake and break. Shake and break, baby. Karl Franz hit with the regrowth. Regrowth so powerful on him. It refreshes his vigor, which is really good, and it also, of course, heals him pretty substantially. So the Reaver Cav, or Silver Helms here, are broken off to terror routes, and the Silver Bullets have somehow, some way come back online, which is very powerful. And now the Demis have engaged, and there's a lot of State Troopers coming in as well. These Spearmen, if they can like get into this combat, that's going to be really, really nasty for the High Elves. Fran's taking a little bit of work. He's a little bit outmanned here. Not outmanned, but there's a lot of troops. Granted, this is just Alarielle, and Dragon Princes and Silver Helms have pretty bad AP values against his 100 armor, so I think Fran should be able to endure here, especially with the Jade Wizard still being alive. He definitely needs to get these Demis back in and just slam into the back of these guys and burn through the witches. Royal Turf Grifite's actually taking some casualties against the Princes. It's not a free fight, that's for sure. It's because of the Noble. Noble's been able to do some really good work. A really close fight, though, guys. An absolute barn burner. Galahad seeking vengeance for his last game. And Franz might be able to do it. I think Franz, if he can get back up and then attack the Noble, I think that would be his best play. Like, killing that Noble is pretty clutch. Jade Wizard's being hunted by the Fireborn, and it looks like the High Elves do have a resurgence of Cav coming in, but the Empire does have the infantry advantage, as you have a ton of Spearmen, which really are quite helpful for sustained combat. So Franz may be opting to go after the Fireborn. Ooh, Tempest here is going to be nasty. But Demogryph Knights bounce out from the main formation. Tempest is activated, which will hurt Franz and lock him in place more or less. It slows him down, although I don't know if it does it unless he's in the sky. No, it doesn't. Okay, so Tempest only slows you if you're actually up in the sky. It's not like Howling Warp Gale and things like that. So Fireborn here, wavering. The Demogryph Knights who were able to bounce out here are certainly putting a bit of a hammering on those guys. And it looks like the Sons of Sigmar are slowly kind of pushing back this game. Royal Turf Grifite's still fighting. A ton of Spearmen in sustained combat. I think the High Elves might want to pull back from this and like kind of regroup. Oh, Franz going in. Oh man, and he karate chops that freaking Noble with Gal Miraz almost 1- and 2-shotting him. The Star of Avalorn, really good response here by Rubber Duck of War, but it looks like the Noble just getting dunked on by Franz. Demogryph Knights coming in as well to pin him in place, and I think Franz should be able to finish off the Noble. He's shattered! Man, Franz is such a carry, doing so much damage there as he does jump in. And also, all the Spearmen here are buffed up by the Reichland Runefang, so suddenly these Spearmen are rocking like 44 melee attack, which is really good. Demogryph Knights are holding firm. I think we're going to see the balance of power start to shift into the favor here of the Empire in just a moment. The Spearmen are really making all the difference. I think the High Elves maybe sat here too long. They could have pulled back and like cycle charged the State Troopers, even Spearmen, like they die really quick to that. But in this case, I think Franzi's going to be able to do it. I mean, he killed the Noble, like just brutal stuff, or at least pushed him off. And now Alarielle's certainly outmatched in combat. Demogryph Knights are still holding firm. We have 16 here and 9 here, a bunch of Spearmen. And the High Elves are in a bit of a mass exodus as Franz is just on the hunt. Swiggity Swooty, he's coming for that booty for sure. Alarielle the Radiant, 2600 HP. This is a good play here by Rubber Duck, though. Going out after the Jade Wizard, certainly not a bad play. Let's try and pick that guy off while Franz is a little bit distracted by some of the Cav units. But the Empire seems to have endured, guys. Now, it's not far from over, but I think the High Elves still have a good chance here. They have a lot of their elite Cav, and if the Empire does get disconjointed and there's more healing from Alarielle, there could be a comeback here for the Princes. And also getting the caster here is quite big. You can see here the Jade Wizard is perhaps broken. Yes, he is broken by Alarielle's magical Care Bear magic. Demogryph Knights charging out once again, intercepting the Silver Helms on the way in. You can see many of those Silver Helms being taken off their horsebacks here by these halberds. And yeah, Demis will 100% win this matchup. Like, hardcore. Demogryph Knights are such a good Cav unit. And Karl Franz coming over to clean up. It looks like the balance of power is massively in the favor of the Sons of Sigmar. Galahad learning from his defeat at the hands of Aerocrastic and coming back to claim vengeance against the High Elves. The Emperor avenging Boris Todbringer, it would appear. So now the High Elves definitely want to regroup, get their Silver Helms back together, chase off the Jade Wizard, chase wherever they can. But yeah, I think it's going to be tough to kill Franzi. I think Franzi's just going to manhandle so many of these units. Losing the Jade Wizard definitely sucks. There's a lot of Demis that still have a lot of room in their healing cap. And you can see here the Jade Wizard is being chased off. And the Reaver Cav are going to be charging into some spears, perhaps. No, looks like they changed their mind when the big old Demogryph Knights of Franz did come in. And now you can see the Silver Helms. Yeah, not really worth chasing. There's only 9 of them. Probably want to just regroup your forces and advance on the High Elf position here. Jade Wizard is pushed off, though. Rubber Duck of War kind of creeps back on that bounce of power, guys. Got a pretty good game on our hands, for sure. So here comes the boys. Here they come. Spearmen with shields. Aligned, ready, braced. Both players, of course, have to be attackers, so the High Elves will have to move in and fight at some point. State troops do move up. Let's look around the map to see what's coming back here. We do have some Spearmen, or Silver Helms there, not Spearmen. And in the back, we have some Shattered Reavers, which, of course, won't be coming back. And honestly, like, even without the State troops, I think the Demis and Franz could probably win this fight. Although there are some Princes in here. It looks like there's a fair amount of those guys. Galahad just really needs to make sure he braces his spears before the charge. If he doesn't, he's going to take a lot of unnecessary damage. So let's see if he braces. Oh, looks like he's trying to, but I don't think they're going to form quick enough. Yeah, that's unfortunate. He takes a lot of damage. The other ones did brace, though. He was able to brace against the Reavers, but this one unit of of a spearman did not brace in time, and they took a beating. Franz going in again. Ilariel takes a ton of damage. Brutal. Franz might be able to get it. Demogryph Knights coming in for the flank. Dragon Princes here are going to start losing models quickly. With the Reikland Runefang active, these guys have massive melee attack at 59. So down goes the High Elf Empire, it looks like. You can see here the Dragon Princes and these other troops here are breaking. Does Sigmar will it? Perhaps he does. He's saying reform the line, which is pretty great. And yeah, Galmaraz has popped. Ilariel, the Pigeon Queen, certainly out of her element here in combat against one of the most powerful duelists in the game. And Franz will certainly be doing some work. Army losses. The Sons of Sigmar and Galahad have redeemed themselves. A glorious victory, and now he moves on. Well played indeed. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. I certainly did. It was a great battle. Well played to Galahad. Blake Colburn. Fudge, I'm late, but I made it. Thank you, Blake, for the donation. Really do appreciate that. And yeah, the nation calls once again. Franz is putting on a clinic today. So Galahad will be the current. And Dov joins right as the Sons of Sigmar win. You got to give Rubber Duck of War huge props, though. He brought like a wild build with like all heavy cav. That was a crazy one. Yeah. So next up on our list, guys, we have Ice Power. So how far into the stream are we right now? Oh, only 2 hours. Not bad. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the King of the Hill. Ice Power, you're up. Very good. Yeah, Franz is a beast. That was a really good game, wasn't it? Silver and gold. Yeah. That was a great one. Dov, of course, loves it. He's all about that life. The Emperor saves the Empire once again, I know. It was both players played great. Rubber Duck had a bit of a meme build, but it still had teeth, you know. But I think Rubber Duck stayed in combat too long with that big blob fight, and the Empire Spearmen started to really outgrind him. GG. Rubber Duck says, best of luck holding on to the crown. What a sport. And now we move on to the next one, which will be Schwarzhofen. So we'll make room for the Ice Power here so we can join up. Yeah, Mr. Pig says, and Arrow just gave him some advice on the matchup after their game. That's nice, yeah. I'm sure that helped. That was a really good one. That was an incredibly fun game. Man, we've been having just absolute bangers of games here today. They've been really good. So Galahad will now face Ice Power. You're welcome, Rubber Duck. You're welcome. Sorry, I didn't catch it before you left. I'll type it just as a courtesy here. So we'll see if Ice Power Total War is here. Was he online? Let's check. Yep, he is. He's firing up the game. Alrighty. Just checking something real quick, guys. So then we have Willow is going to be after Ice Power. And we'll see how it goes. Very good. Yes. Yes, Galahad. You pick 3, your opponent bans 1 and picks, and then you're good to go. Perfect. We're all set. So, Galahad's picking Lizards, Tomb Kings, and Wood Elves, so showing his breadth of factions here. Apparently he's pretty good at a bunch of factions. We'll see what he brings. Ice Power, from what I've seen, really likes his Dark Elves. Turn, did you see the Pharaoh Wars message? I didn't. No, what did I miss? Sorry, I was organizing some of the King of the Hill stuff. Is the Warhammer literature engaging? Yeah, Warhammer fantasy books, just Vitek, Langer, just read the Gotrek and Felix books. Those are so fun. Robert Deck, no worries, man. You played well. Yeah. I did not see Pharaoh's message, though. So if you could repeat it, I'm watching now. Is there anyone better at gooning lords than Franz? It's pretty tough because he has really good at melee attack, plus his items are super powerful for gooning. Yeah, Thankful is one of the best characters in the Gotrek and Felix books. He's so funny. It's hilarious. All right, let me scroll up, see if I can see Pharaoh's message. Pharaoh, where are you? Okay, Pharaoh, I see your message. Thanks, bud. Get some rest, brother. I know it's getting late. All right. Dov is not playing today. Yeah, he's not signed up. Thank you, Jason. Got it, brother. Got it, got it. Now we're rocking hard. Galahad. Ice Power Total War. So, okay, so Ice Power bans Tomb Kings and he picks... What does he pick here? Okay, Galahad. So, Ice Power bans Tomb Kings. Oh, Ice, you just pick now. So you ban one and pick. Then he picks from remaining. So basically, Ice Power will ban the Tomb Kings, which he did. Then he picks, and then Galahad gets to pick from either his lizards or wood elves. All right, so it looks like it's going to be wood elves versus dark elves here in this match. We'll see. But again, the players are still kind of working out the matchups and everything. Yeah, Rubber. You know, Rubber. I think you could have got it for sure. But I think you stayed too long in the blob. Like you sat there in that big blob fight with Franz, and like all the state troops were buffed by Reichel and Runefang, and your elite cav were being kind of dragged down. Yeah, I think that was the big problem. Like I think if you had pulled back and kept cycle charging, you would have been in much better shape. It was a very tough army to micro too, the one you had. But you played really well, man. Yeah, read the Gotrek and Felix books, man. Vitek, they're really solid. I mean, it's not like super hard and crazy reading, but it's fun. Yeah. So you pick from your two. Yeah, I'm curious to see how we'll play this. It looks like it's going to be an elf war. Yeah, wood elves are certainly somewhat predictable in multiplayer, but there's some, you know, they have a couple strategies. Wood elf rushes aren't bad either with Helm of Discord and the dragon and all that stuff. Ah, some delicious water. Delicious water indeed. All right, perfect. Everything looks good here. Hey, over 1,000 people. Very cool, guys. The nation calls and you guys answer. All right, so we have Wood Elves versus Dark Elves for this match. It's going to be Galahad versus Ice Power Total War. And then if we look at the remainder of our list for today, we have Willow, Undertaker, Decoli, and Aerocrastic, if he comes back. If he doesn't, then Decoli will be the last player, and then we go into our reserves. Yes. Gotrek and Felix is generally one of the best places to start if you're new to lore. It really is. Reading Gotrek and Felix has been really solid. Like, it gives you a very decent, comprehensive grasp of like the basics of Warhammer Fantasy lore. So Valis, yes. The Warhammer books with a female protagonist. Yeah, I believe Ulrika the Vampire it's basically, you know, follows the vampires, and Ulrika is the main character. So she's let me check for you. Hold on. Warhammer Fantasy books. Yeah, man, there's so many of them too. I think Drakenfels does also. I can't remember. I've mainly read Gotrek and Felix and the Masters of Stone and Steel. If Sotek was in here, I'm sure he could tell you. He's like read all the books. But yeah, Ulrika the Vampire, that series is. Ulrika would be a fun free LC character. You know? Guys, just checking something here. That looks good to me. Very cool. Yeah, Gotrek and Felix does have some dark moments, but it's not like too bad. Yeah, Casimir, I agree with that. The Gotrek and Felix books really, I felt a parallel with the Dritz books, the Forgotten Realms and all that stuff. Yeah, the Dritz books were some of the first like fantasy I really got balls deep into. Lore Master of Sotek, somebody in chat was asking what good Warhammer Fantasy novels are there with a female protagonist. Or antagonist, I mean, just somebody was asking that. And I said Ulrika the Vampire, the trilogy, but looks like Galahad's ready. He says, you too, man. So we got Wood Elves versus Dark Elves. Two of the more, you know, edgy of elves, although Wood Elves are more just kind of like, hey man, don't come in my forest. It's really funny how Wood Elves like play like that in campaign as well. It's like, they just like don't like leaving their forest ever. I found in like my last like 4 or 5 campaign playthroughs, like the Wood Elves just are in the trees just chilling, not even bothering to push out like past the periphery of Bretonia's southern border. Swarthofen is the map. Looks like we're loading in. Let's see what they bring. Should be quite a bit of fun. I wonder if we're going to see Way Watchers and that kind of style of Wood Elf play, or if we're going to see some good old-fashioned Wood Elf rushes. Yeah, with like Dryads and Mel Gibson. I have a feeling we might see a wild Mel Gibson pick. I can feel it in my bones. You know, the stream brings the best out of people, and I think Mel Gibson could arrive. We'll see. We will see indeed. Sotek also recommends The Valky of the Bloody. Yeah, it's a short story, but I have seen Astartes episode 5. I loved it. And Lucas, I'll be starting a new campaign soonish. Sometime in the next couple weeks. For sure. I'm going to finish my Queek campaign, though. It has one episode left, more or less. I just have to go like capture 1 or 2 buildings and I win. The legendary Queek. All right, guys, here we are. Ice Power Total War going with Malekith as well as Feral Manticore. So I thought it was a Master for a second, but pretty powerful Air Force for sure. A bunch of Harpies for Disruption and Chase. And it looks like it's going to be Dark Riders with shields teamed up with the Slaanesha's Harvesters, Dread Spears, Bleak Swords, and that is pretty much it. They're really going to be relying on Malekith and the monsters, but definitely a nice army here. Now for the Woodies, we got Winterheart Guards, pretty cool stuff. War Dancers as well. We do also have Wild Hunters of Kurnus, Wild Riders. Oh, hell yeah, baby. Galahad winning the hearts and minds of the people with the great Mel Gibson. He arrives with the Branch Wraith. And yeah, I'm very excited. Orion is always one of my favorite characters to see. We got 3 groups of the Glade Guards, or Glade Riders. Really good counter-skirmishing here. And Wild Riders, that's it. Pretty good infantry quality. War Dancers, of course, will tear apart most of these troops. Grant's got to be careful for the Doomfire Warlocks and Malekith and the Manticore, but Orion does have anti-large and really good weapon strength at 490, so he can certainly beat down a Manticore and hold his own against Malekith. Soul Stealers, of course, big game changer. But we got some Mel Gibson. Let's do it, guys. Let's go hard in the paint. The battle will be underway here in just a moment. Crows of Cain, the Haggard Harpies, swarm the skies. Harpies are a decent disruption tool for sure. Pretty good melee defense too. 38, 44 weapon strength, so yeah, they can do some work. So Mel Gibson is here. I was expecting one of them to yell freedom. The Glade Riders with Hagman Tips will be a decent skirmishing tool here. Looks like a little bit of lag. Hopefully that subsides here in a moment. Unless you guys want Total War slideshow. Total War PowerPoint presentation. Yes, guys, just pretend it's a cinematic shot. Okay, it looks like it's more or less subsiding. We know it wasn't Galahad. It could be the Ice Power, considering he's the X Factor here that just loaded in. But it looks like it is subsiding more or less. A little bit, but no, that's okay. Okay, we're good now. So we have all the missile pieces shooting in. The Glade Riders with Hagbane Tips shooting up into the sky. Definitely focusing Harpies isn't a bad idea. There are some of the easier targets to kill here. 15 armor. The other guys are all shielded with like silver shields. So you can see silver shields, silver shields back here. The melee fight should be pretty good for the Wood Elves, considering they have 2 War Dancers, and the Wild Riders will be able to bully potentially the Dark Elf Cav. But the problem is that if you take the Cav fight here, which he shouldn't take, even if he thinks he can win it with his Cav, he will lose the fight because of the Manticore and the Soul Stealer. So I think just continuing to skirmish and force the Dark Elves into a spear fight is really the way you want to do this. So some of the Harpies do land here, taking some casualties. War Dancers, I would imagine, will be surging forward in just a moment. Good kiting here from Galahad, pulling back. Some of the Harpies may break, and Mel Gibson is throwing his spear. Oh wow, that was a wild spear right there. Going up in the sky. Those Harpies are falling pretty quick here. So good play. Yeah, just screen these guys out with spears and infantry. That's really going to be the way to do this. Now, some of the War Dancers will be taking a charge. Dark Elves, pretty much every Dark Elf player just wants to... Oh, a timed pendulum. Interesting. Very risky. He tried to time it with their advance, which is normally you want to wait till they're already in combat, but it was about sending a message here. So here the Wild Riders charge in, but this is going to be a disaster up on the high ground as the Wild Riders here. Horn of the Wild Hunt is activated, and man, look how quickly they kill. But I guess if he only loses one Wild Rider and he is able to accrue value here, it's just that Soul Stealer is going to be coming in a moment, and I don't know if he wants to commit to this fight. Granted, he does have the War Dancers here, which makes it a little bit more feasible, but he is taking some damage for sure. Mel Gibson's there as well. Frontline, Eternal Guard are holding. These ones are breaking, and where are the other War Dancers? Okay, they're fighting over here against the Dark Elves in that position. Gaze of Malice going down from Malekith, though Malekith has taken a bit of work. All the focus fire from the Glade Riders has been doing some decent damage. And yeah, this isn't bad for the Woodies. They have the War Dancers here, Shield of Thorns, pretty good AoE buffs. Mel Gibson charging into the fray, which of course he does cause terror, so he could potentially rout off some of these guys. And Malekith actually took a surprising amount of damage. Pretty even battle so far, to be honest. The Manticore could be kited and rampaged and potentially destroyed very easily by the Wild Hunters of Kurnus. So it's really just going to come down to his control here. Honestly, pulling back the War Dancers from this blob might not be bad also, or the Spheres. Pull them back into this fight. Here comes the Harpies pushing into the Skirmishers. The Glade Riders getting a little bit caught up by the Harpies. A little bit of a miss micro there from his Missile Cav. Oh man, but the Branch Wraith getting gooned, that's really not good. Losing your healing here is tough. And as a matter of fact, the Wood Elves were actually ahead from the bounce power in the beginning, but if the Branch Wraith goes down here, I think that could be pretty bad. Losing your healing here is not going to be fun. Mel Gibson is fully surrounded as well. If you could whip out a Pendulum or something, that'd be really nice, but it looks like the Branch Wraith is broken off by the gooning from the Manticore, and of course Malekith flying overhead. But, you know, aside from that, Galahad's doing a pretty good job microing here with his Wild Riders, but I think they're kind of, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. Losing that caster like that is brutal. Mel Gibson will endure. If the Dark Elves do focus Mel Gibson, I think that would be one of their first mistakes, because he gets really tanky when he gets low with the Cloak of Aisha. He gets 44% ward save and also heals himself. So typically saving Mel Gibson for later, unless you really have an opportune Alpha Strike, I think is better. Hawk's Talon, really nice one right there, bombarding. So that's an ability from Mel, doing some big damage right there. And for anyone who's new to the channel, Mel Gibson is Orion. He's a Wood Elf Legendary Lord. I call him Mel Gibson because if you look at his face, he looks like shockingly similar to the actual actor. Let's see if we can get a look here. Oh, wow. Attack animation. Oh my god, look at that. Brutal stuff. That's why Orion's so badass. He is getting a little bit beat up here, guys, and the Soul Stealer coming in. No heals, of course, from the Branch Wraith, who might actually come back. The Wood Elves with good micro here. If Galahad can kind of, not with the Dark Riders, though. Dark Riders should be able to chase off the Branch Wraith. It was a cool build, and honestly, I think just letting the Branch Wraith go in a couple of the engagements were, yeah, you got to watch out for the Soul Stealer Alpha Strikes. Like, every Dark Elf player just has a hard-on for that. And if you can avoid it, you're usually going to be okay. Hounds of Gibson going down, but I think there's just too much poke here. Another Gaze of Malice as well, and that's going to be game. Yeah, the rest of the Wood Elf army got collapsed. Even if Mel lasted another 5 minutes, he would still lose this game. Well played to Galahad. A good attempt. Ice Power putting on a very good Dark Elf showcase there. And we'll see Ice Power in the next game as he fights for the King of the Hill position. All right. So let's go ahead and update this. And now it's going to be Ice. Ice Power. Mel Gibson just got in there. Man, he gave the business to those guys, didn't he? All right. So next we have Willow. Then after Willow, we have Undertaker and then Zicoli. And if Arocrastic comes back, he will be our contender to try and reclaim his strap after the phone calls he had to make. Ice Power says it's a nasty build for Wood Elf. So much shields. See you around, man. Thanks for hosting. You're welcome, Galahad. Well played, brother. You're very welcome. A fine showcase you put on today. Sword of Torgald. Let's go. Hey, take care, Aristo. Get some sleep, man. I know it's getting late. It's getting late for some of you guys. Yeah, Hagbanes were really nice there. Yes. Yes, indeed. Freedom. That was definitely a yelling freedom moment if I've ever seen one. Freedom! All right, let's see if Willow's ready. He's on his way. Very good. So it's going to be Sword of Torgald for the last map here. Not last, but for this map. And Ice Power currently on the board with 1 victory. Let's make sure I have that accurately reflected on the score. I do indeed. We are all good in the hood. Awesome. We haven't seen any Skaven today, which I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised about that. Tyler Perry, that's a tough question, because there's a lot of players in other scenes. Certainly Falcon's been performing extremely well, though, to say the least, in pretty much every tournament he plays in. Yeah, no Skaven today, actually, which is weird. Skaven are a top-tier faction, but it just depends on the players who are playing, right? All right. Who's up? You got Willow. Willow's coming. Very good. He's on the way. Of course, we know it takes some time to fire up these battles here. Take a pretty penny to get those bad boys going. Well played, Galahad. Well played, brother. Welcome back to chat. Yeah, Slater, that's a good analysis. Yeah, you know, if I were playing, I would definitely be picking Skaven almost every game. They're so good. Erica Draper from Dublin, Ireland. Welcome. Hope you guys are safe out there. I'm more or less half Irish. My heritage is actually Irish and Italian. Yes. Rats the size of men living in sewers? Huh. Yeah, it's really funny. You get quite the portrayal of that in the Gotrek and Felix books. Like how the Skaven are like kind of a mythology, but you know, it's really good. So Ice picks 3. Go, go. So what they do, Sword of Torgald is the map. And again, thank you guys so much for joining today. It's been a really fun stream. We continue on. Live long and prosper. Hey, Galahad, you did well, man. You played some really tough opponents too, so don't hang your head in shame. Do not hang your head in shame. The Easter King of the Hill continues into the wee hours of the morning for those of you in the late night looking for something to hold on to in the cold, dark hours of the morning. I know in Poland right now, it's almost midnight. Yeah. My last name is like super Italian, but I'm actually more Irish than I'm Italian in terms of my actual heritage. Yes. I mean, but again, in America, people are oftentimes just, an amalgamation of different cultures. Skaven Death Star is pretty good. It can be picked apart, though. It depends on the matchup. Skaven Death Star is good against like Vampire Counts and Tomb Kings. I'm not good, but it's functional. But really where Skaven shine is like Jezzails and weapons teams and things like that. So somebody in chat, Orahul, asks, hey Turin, any tip for Lizardmen beating on Empire and Dwarves gunline? So if you're going against Empire, or let's say Dwarves, I think going super wide with a bunch of Saurus, Red Cuts and Skinks, some really cheap baseline cab units, Gorok, and a Manticore Summoner is probably really good. Or also Windblast can be quite strong. But yeah, against both those factions, you want to go pretty wide. I can give you more advice pertaining to the Dwarf matchup, because I do know that one. If you go, Rahul, and search on my channel, just search Turin, Lizardmen versus Dwarves, you'll see a replay that was with Gorok like a month or two back. And it was against a really good player, and you'll see a pretty good build for that. Yeah, it's past midnight in most of the European countries. In England, I think it's like 11-something. All right, so for the matchup, we got Ice Power picking Vampires, Vampire Coast, and Dark Elves, and he bans Vampire Counts and picks Bretonnia. Interesting. Okay, so we got Bretonnia facing off against, I would imagine, I mean, he's got the world's his oyster here. Dark Elves or probably Vampires? I would probably pick Vampire Coast against Bretonnia. But again, we'll see what he's comfortable with here. Yeah, my mullet's... I don't have a mullet yet because you have to like trim it. I'm saving the mullet for Everchosen, whenever that is. Obviously, with all that's going on now, who knows? Also, Chameleon Skanks will melt through Slayers. Yeah, they do a good job. I usually bring 2 Chameleons or 2 Skank Skirmishers in that matchup. Chameleons are good because they have the missile resist. So like what I usually do against Dwarves with Lizards is bring like Shielded Saurus, like couple Red Crested Skinks, 2 just Cold One Cav, super wide. Yeah, exactly, Jason. In Scotland, it's 23, 21, yeah. 11, 20. I know, guys, we're holding on. We're going firm. Couple more players in today's stream. And we'll see. So it's going to be Vampires versus Bretonnia. This is one that is slightly Vampire Coast favored, but I do think Bretonnia has the tools to win it with good control. So Green Knight's really good here, actually, as is Gotrek. And honestly, I would always bring them both here, because Vampire Coast doesn't really have too much magic damage aside from Sirens. And Fey-Enchantress wrecks Sirens. So you bring Fey-Enchantress, Gotrek, and Green Knight, and you're in pretty good shape. They can kill like the crabs and the monsters and the Colossus and all that stuff. Does anyone know a good Rattling Gun build? Maximilian, you'd have to say what matchup, because Rattling Guns are just not good against certain factions. It's more based on that. Germany, yeah, it's like 12-20. Yes, good. I'm excited to get the mullet when the time comes. Whenever I get to cast another Everchosen Invitational, the mullet will rise. Although it also depends, like, I don't know, I can't like cut a mullet myself, so hopefully things will reopen. So more or less, so Oralho says, thanks for the tips. Do high-level players usually play ladder? Because in my few days of playing, I've faced Falcon, King of the Dead, and other streamers. Yeah, so if you want to play newer players, I would recommend joining our Discord. And just say you're a newer player in the looking for game section, and you'll be able to find opponents that aren't top-tier Punishers. So we'll drop a link to the Discord before the stream's over, don't you worry. Yeah, it's going to be Bretonnia, though. I actually like playing Bretonnia here. I think it's really fun. Ice Power says, Misa ready. Oh god, Jar Jar Binks. Please no. No Jar Jar. Spare us. Although after seeing the recent Star Wars movies, it's kind of sad. You look back at the prequels and you're like, you know, they weren't so bad. That's how you know you're really in a dark place. Oh, Mr. Pig, it'd be tricky. I want a true mullet. You know, I want the real deal. I know, Plessy, you missed the first 2 hours, man. Yeah, so Shock Me Sane, Creative Assembly did say on a stream a month or two ago that there are going to be siege overhauls and reworks for Warhammer 3. So they are going to be redoing sieges. Hey, Wicked, welcome back, man. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. Yes, Wicked, coming in with the Steel Chair Discord link. All right, and here we go. It is time. Willow versus Ice Power, Bretonia versus Vampire Coast. We'll see if the noble sons and daughters of Lewin are able to carry this game into the sunset. In the meantime, I'm going to go grab some water from the kitchen. Getting a little bit parched here. All right, guys, back in business. Here we are. Get this microphone a little bit adjusted there. Everything is looking good. Everything is looking good. Yeah, I think sieges are one of the weakest parts of the game, too. It's something I always skip. Yeah, the new Star Wars movies, in my opinion, were quite the disappointment. But again, some people like them, but I personally didn't. Wicked had to take a nap. Got up at 4 a.m. because I'm sticking in the work schedule. Yeah. That's early. Yeah, it really flew under the radar, like those updates. Pretty crazy stuff. All right, guys, so for Bretonia, oh, yeah. So pretty similar. We have Rapunzel, we have Green Knight, and we also have a Damsel of Life. So it's not Gotrek. However, Green Knight can still do some work. Like I said, he has really good AP values. He does magic damage. He is no joke. And Rapunzel, has decent AP as well. She's not like an anti-large specialist, but if Noctilus is on foot, she can certainly karate chop him with cycle charging. For the rest of the Bretonians, we do have Battle Pilgrims into the Sunset, Peasant Archers. And on the flanks, we have the Defenders of Fleur de Lis. 2 groups of Mounted Yeomen, which is an interesting choice. And over here, we do also have Knights Errant. So yeah, very much a pretty heavy infantry quality for Bretonia. Battle Pilgrims are the choice here, though. I think they're really good. 30 armor obviously isn't the best, but they have the shields, really good leadership, and are immune to psychology while their frenzy's active. So Battle Pilgrims, Peasant Archers, certainly going to be targeted pretty heavily. And that is that. Cool stuff. Some nice disruption, some powerful heroes. And now for the forces of Vampire Coast, we got Deckhand mobs. We have Count Noctilus on his peg leg beast, which is very common. Lamprey's Revenge to Roadblock, and this is very common as well, going for artillery here. Sometimes you see mortars. My one concern for this Coast build is it doesn't have a ton to kill the archers, but again, it looks like he has some scurvy dogs hidden, so if he's able to get the doggos onto the archers, he should be fine. The carronades will just deck the cab units pretty efficiently, some halberds defending, and some depth guard in the back. It's a good build. It's a good build. I typically am very afraid of mass peasant archers in this matchup. So I bring mortars, or like to, but we'll see how it goes. The battle is underway. The fate of the old world lies in the hand of the Green Knight, Gilles Le Breton. Will he come in and save his people once more? A little bit of healing from the damsel should be very helpful. Makes Green Knight very tough to kill. But, I mean, Noctilus does have the Wraithstorm, which can do a lot of damage to Green Knight if he's sitting still, but if you see it coming, you should be okay. Rapunzel as well should be able to put some heavy AP into the crabs. She also has some really good items. Rapunzel has the Sword of Lioness here, as well as the Halo of Maidenly Wrath, and the Fleur de Lis banner gives some really good stats. I mean, she's not a bad character, really. Just kind of overshadowed by Lewin and Fey Enchantress, but I really do think Rapunzel is decent. So the Colossus is now shooting at the Wardens of Montfort on the flank, which is good. I mean, it's better than having them shoot at the, even the heroes and characters back here. But the Bretonians certainly need to close the distance pretty quick. The artillery from Vampire Coast is going to be punishing. As a matter of fact, I'd probably run these guys into the tree line, just hide them from the cannons for now, because they might get broken off here. Circling up and around the cannons is also a really good play, and you can see, yeah, the 2 carronades. What was doing so much damage to those Knights Errant? Oh, it looks like Count Noctilus was. The Battle Pilgrim wall advances. It looks like back here Willow may be pulling up his characters now. He had them in perhaps a separate control group. With the Vampire Coast getting some really nasty firepower, you can see the Knights Errant here really getting plowed pretty hard. Typically, you want to hide your Knights until your infantry engage, and then just engage, pull up with them after the fact. I don't think vanguarding and pressing up with your knights early against Vampire Coast is very effective, because usually their cannons will just pound you. You want to force them to shoot your infantry and your chaff and things like that. So yeah, shooting in here with the skirmish cav, the wardens and those other missile pieces doing a little bit of damage, but nothing to write home about, that's for sure. And here comes the glorious battle pilgrims. Peasant archers will be in range soon, and this is where the Bretonnians need to get back in this game. In the meantime, you can see he's hiding those knights errant, which is smart. I think he sees the scurvy dogs, and if you can intercept the scurvy dogs, that'd be quite the play. Back here, the Damsel of Life. Oh, if she got caught by those scurvy dogs, she actually might get taken down. That'd be quite painful. But now the frontline engagement is about underway. I think Green Knight basically just needs to chase Count Noctilus the entire game. Just stick on him like glue. It's really punishing for sure. Peasant archers now shooting up into the unarmored deckhand mobs, which of course will do some pretty heavy damage. In the back, Noctilus shooting in once again. The Wardens of Montfort are broken off the battlefield, which is pretty unfortunate. It's certainly a loss to take this early in the game. But the Green Knight's coming in. He does bait out a summon, which is good. You know, the summon, of course, will save some time. And Wraithstorm's coming in. Looks like some items might be activated from Raponce, perhaps. We'll find out in a second. Wraithstorm, nice shot. He was able to get the Green Knight sitting still. And I think that actually did some good damage. Let's check. Yeah, not too much. The Dolores Blade is activated, and you can see, wow, Raponce and the Green Knight laying a royal whooping down on Count Noctilus. But Invocation will come up. But again, getting the summon out plus the Invocation, definitely very cost effective. Now you can see the Scurvy Dogs have gotten into the Archer line, which is pretty much the worst fear here for the Bretonnians. You need those Archers, and the Knights should be able to come in and clean them up here in a second. You can see a group of the Knights Errant collapsing into the Doggos from both sides. So the summons are going down, now the Crabs are being sent in. Noctilus shooting quite happily. Man, Raponce is getting wasted by something. Regrowth and Shield of Thorns on her. It looks like the Carronades, as well as the Gunnery White and Noctilus, must have all been shooting at Raponce here. So, yeah, pull Raponce back. Have her be defensive and come in the late game. Maybe send Raponce to go attack these depth guard here. I think that would be a pretty good play for sure. Now, one of the Carronades is about offline. The Peasant Archers have been able to shoot quite happily into this thing. Also, he does have Mounted Yeoman in the back, and now it looks like the Peasant Archers are shooting at the Gunnery White, which I think is a mistake. I think shooting the artillery play, which he was doing, is the right idea. Now we have the Crabs trying to go after Raponce here. Better be careful. Green Knight is nearby and certainly can help drag down some of these Crabos. Battle Pilgrims winning their fights across the board. Obviously, the Zombie Park Deckhand mobs will lose quite badly, but the Depth Guard are very good against these type of units, lightly armored, low AP infantry. And Raponce is actually wavering. The Iron Lady, not so iron right now, as the Halberds surge in. And the Green Knight trying to help as well. Peasant Archers are now switching on to the other Carronade. This one should be crumbling off in a moment. Yeah, the Peasant Archer is doing a good job. Count Noctilus dropping a summon back here. Bounce Fire is pretty even right now. The Depth Guard are certainly going to be a problem, as are the Scurvy Dogs. I think if the Scurvy Dogs are able to feast on the souls of these archers here, I think that could be GG. I think that could end the game. Because like these Peasant Archers are super necessary as this game goes on to grind down these other pieces. Now, where are the troops to intercept? I mean, there are some Battle Pilgrims. The Holy Wardens here. Raponce is still fighting quite hard. Shield of Thorns is activated on her. But again, the Lamprey's Revenge and these other Crabos doing a lot of damage. Battle Pilgrims here in okay shape. We also have the Defenders of Fleur-de-Lis, which are kind of unmanned right now. They definitely need to get busy. And Raponce has fallen back down the hill. She has a little bit of room before her healing cap, so she certainly could still be healed. And the Lamprey's Revenge in really good shape. But yeah, the Peasant Archers going down there is a disaster. There's still a lot of Battle Pilgrims. Bounce of Power is somewhat even, but you really got to watch out for the Doggos. That's like one of the few ways Vampire Coast has, aside from Mortars and Queen Bess, to kill your Archers. Wraithstorm going in and just pounding Raponce. Man, brutal stuff. 191, -11. She'll probably get an Earthblood, but I don't know if Green Knight's going to be able to carry this on his own. He is dragging down the Crabs. He's killed another model here, and, Green Knight, very, very durable. It's going to be hard for Coast to deal with him. And some of the Knights Errant in the back have charged in, but being wrapped up here by some summons, and now the Halberds are pushing in as well. Battle Pilgrims definitely need to get busy. Pull the Knights back, send the Battle Pilgrims up, and get the Knights up and around the back to charge that cannon piece. But the Battle Pilgrims, like I said, performing well. Depth Guard are still in good shape, which is a bit of a problem. Perhaps the Green Knight is going to try and get away from the Crabs now and goon out the big old Noctilus boy. Here comes the Green Knight charging in, and ha-boom, getting some decent little damage there. Noctilus, I would imagine, going to be dropping some summons to Tar Pit, but with all those Crabs there, I don't see how that's going to go well. Some Peasant Archers do come back, though. That's quite a nice boon. And here we have the Holy Wardens going to engage on the Depth Guard, who do get the Invocation. I think Raponce maybe wants to go after the Depth Guard as well. Like, those guys will buzzsaw through the entire army if you just leave them be. Dolores Blade is active. The Crabs look to have not gotten healed. There's a Gunnery White here. Noctilus is just full ammo because a Gunnery White, of course, has extra powder and can give some work there. And the Scurvy Dogs have actually been kited out by the Bretonnian Skirmishers, which is quite good. Raponce going in for the kill once again. The Damsel's coming in. Looks like she's juking here, trying to get into the face of Count Noctilus. Noctilus at 5.7. Wow, 600 damage from Raponce. Sword of Lioness giving her huge damage. 5.51. Is Raponce going to get her again? She does. Raponce really chopping down Count Noctilus, but a summon coming down as well, which should Tar Pit. If this only could have happened earlier. Raponce is really... Wow, taking almost 2,000 HP off Count Noctiluss there. That's really good, guys. And the Holy Wardens are losing horribly to the Death Guard, which is a really unfortunate trade. Because these guys like could have done so much damage to this whole fight over here, but yeah, losing them like that, it's rough. Now Rapunzel is a little bit surrounded. Green Knight getting targeted by Wraithstorm, but he is moving, so it's not going to do too much damage. He's going up and around, and now he's going to be jumping in, and he does get past the defenses and does get on Count Noctiluss, who is healed by Invocation. The Bounce Power is actually being pulled back towards the middle because of the damage done to Noctiluss, but I just think the Death Guard going this long have just unfortunately led to the demise of the Bretonnian infantry lines. And yeah, you know, Ice Power's doing a really good job defending. He's waddling around, he's getting the Death Guard in those good fights. His punishing of Rapunzel in the beginning was quite painful, but she actually did a ton of damage there at the end, but yeah. It's going to be too much. I think the Vampire Coast is going to win this one. The Scurvy Dogs getting on the Archers. The initial Cav play taking so much damage, I think, was another big issue. And the Death Guard still being alive. The Death Guard will like cleave through all this stuff. Normally Battle Pilgrims are tough to kill, but yeah, these Depth Boys are no joke. So Green Knight coming in once again. He's somewhat healthy. He's at like half health, which isn't bad. Charging in, and he does make contact. He does not. It looks like some of the Archer play from these mounted yeomen doing a little bit of damage to him. Down to 2.8. Enhanced Ballistics is active. Rapunzel, the Iron Lady is broken. 63 leadership. And we do also have the Green Knight continuing to fight in the pits, but it's only a matter of time at this point. Willow played a good game. He did. But, Ice Power was able to protect his cannons, was able to just snipe the Lords very effectively, and take advantage of some of the misplays of the Bretonnians. And it is a matchup that's already slightly coast-favored, so I think, you can't make too many mistakes as Bretonnia. It is very winnable for Bretonnia, I think, but the Green Knight was really, really good, as was, Rapunzel did okay, but the damage she took early was damning, for sure. And the Death Guard being able to live this long, 204 kills, all of which were on Battle Pilgrims. Talk about cost-effectiveness. And still grinding here in the late game. So now it's the Green Knight. And that is GG. Well played. Ice Power with 2 victories here. Surging for the throne, but now he has to face a very familiar foe here in our King of the Hills. So let's go ahead and update the Ice Power. Ice Power to 2. There you have it. Let's go ahead and grab our boy here. Who's next? We have Undertaker, the pride of Poland. Here he comes. All right, so he's going to come join us. Then we have Tokoli. So if Ice Power can win 2 more games, he'll be the king. So he needs to defeat Grombrindle and Tokoli, and if he does, he wins the stream. And that will be that. But if he does not, and we need to have a tiebreaker, the last person gets to play till they win. Those Death Guard got so many kills. They cannot kill the Iron Lady. She lived with 7 hit points. Yeah. That was a good game. What's up, Falcon? What's going on, man? We got Shock Me saying, I'm from Cali like Turin, though he betrayed us and moved to Southern California. I'm originally from Southern California, though, so it's not really a betrayal. I did live in Northern California when I used to work as an athletic director for a couple of years. But then when my YouTube channel did good enough to feed me, I switched to doing YouTube full time to make it easier so I could go visit my lovely, at the time she was my fiance, Lady Turin, but of course my lovely wife now. So now the Undertaker cometh. He says war. He's very excited, as he usually is. For the next map, let's go ahead and do, Toothgrass Hill is kind of a weird one. We'll do Troll Country. All right. Hope you guys are all having a great Easter. Yeah, Rapunzel did well. She actually laid a huge beating on Noctiluss. She took like 2,000 HP off him in a matter of seconds. Depth Guard are really good. Depth Guard are good as like a sweeper unit. I don't think they're a good frontline unit, but if you use them as a sweeper in your back line to clean up things that get through, they can usually do really well. Hey, Rubber Duck, get some sleep, man. You're very welcome. Happy to have you, man. Oh, yeah. Hey, Falcon, how'd the tournament go? Did you play in it, or were you like coaching? What was your role in this tournament? I hope it went well, brother. We have some cap. Oh, Falcon, by the way, I'm posting the Sturgia game from our Bannerlord the other day tomorrow. The one where we played against Britannia and just spammed the Berserkers. That'll be going up tomorrow. And man, there's some good memes in it too. All right, so Ice Power says he hates Sword of Torgald. It's a pretty good map, I think. He probably doesn't like it because of the line of fire and the choke. Yes. So Grombrindle says insta-locks Dawi. So Ice Power picks 3. And then Gromriddle will pick 1 and ban. So obviously he's going to pick Dwarves regardless of the situation. He'll just ban the worst matchup for the Dwarves probably. It's getting late, guys, but, you know, we got to keep you guys entertained into the wee hours of the morning. No mercy is shown here. And again, really appreciate all you guys hanging out. It's the highlight of my day. One of the highlights of my day. Yeah, Battania is probably the weakest faction in multiplayer, I think, in Bannerlord. Like, if you're talking about captain mode, like their armies. They can win. You know, their Oathsworn aren't terrible, but, I mean, they're just kind of an inferior version to the Varyogs. Yeah. It's a really fun game. Captain mode is insanely good. I hope someday they add custom servers. I don't know when that's coming, but hopefully sooner than later. Hopefully sooner than later, my friends. All right, very good. Everything's looking good. So Gromriddle goes Dwarves. Whoa, he's picking Coast against Dwarves? Oh, man. He just counterpicked himself. Ice Power, man. By God, what have you done? So Ice Power picking the dreaded Vampire Coast, which is essentially probably one of the worst matchups for Coast, into a very skilled Dwarf player. So I'm curious to see how this works out. I have 2 builds for Coast that are pretty effective against Dwarves, but it's still tough. Probably a Cyrene Morngul Rush is one of your best bets. But I mean, we'll see. This is going to be hard. Man, okay, Dwarves versus Coast. Jacob, glad to hear it, man. I am Scrollbob, 6:40 p.m. Ah, you must be somewhere else in the world outside of Europe. Glad to hear it, guys. I think that someday we will get a Lord of the Rings mod for Bannerlord. Oh my God, that would be so fun. That'd be so fun. I'm going to go eat some kielbasa after this. Lady Turin made some kielbasa beans last night. The Bretonnian beans, as they're called. I think we have some left over. Falcon says, "Rip Vampire Coast. Let it be forgotten like every other vampire scum." Hey, sounds good, Grant. That sounds comfy. Coast cannot outgun Dwarves, really, no. Because, like, the Dwarven guns... I mean, the Dwarves don't go guns, for the record. They're going to go, like, Rangers or Corlers. Typically, you just, like, spam those and, like, Longbeards, and, like, you just wreck Vampire Coast. Yeah, it's really tough. Slayers, like, destroy all their monsters. The Dwarven powders and cannons are all... Like, there's so many good tools the Dwarves have against Coast. I am Skrull Bob. You're in New York, huh? My dad is in New York right now as well. He lives in New York. My dad's a New Yorker through and through. My mom's side of the family, all from California region. Can't Coast outgun the Dwarves? No, definitely not. Lord of the Rings mod would be quite epic. Yeah, Bannerlord's really fun, guys. It's a great experience. It's really, really fun. It's addictive, you know. It just keeps you going. It's like it takes one more turn to like a whole nother level. Like, just one more feeble turn, please, Anakin. All right, everything looks good here. Very good indeed. Alrighty. The dreaded melee Slann cometh. If you guys didn't see today's video, that was a pretty insane game. The melee Slann. Dueling Arkan. Alright, firing it up. Looks like they're ready. Alright, guys, game is set. Gromriddle on the Dwarves. No surprise there against Ice Power Total War, who's currently on a 2-0 run right now. Well, obviously 2-0. You can't be 2-1 and King of the Hill. He's won 2 games. And he's looking to claim the throne. So currently, Amy Packer is our current leader. He was our first champ to play today. And he has 3 victories. So he's going to have to win this and then win the last game. And then he would win the stream. You know, I wonder... So basically with Coast against Dwarves, there's 2 ways to play it. One is to get like 4 cannons and spread out across the map and be really obnoxious and try and pull them apart. Like, you kill their artillery with your 4 cannons. You have, like, you know, just isolated ganks when they advance on your cannons. But Troll Country isn't really a good map for that. I think we're going to see a Morngul rush. So, like, 3 or 4 Mornguls, a couple Syrenes, 1 Depth Guard, zombies, and, like, Count Noctilus. That's kind of like another way to play it with a couple dogs and bats to shut down gyros. Yeah, I don't know. Also, if you guys are looking for a really good show to watch during this quarantine, it's on Netflix. It's called The Kingdom. So it's a Korean TV show, and it is so damn good. It's probably like, it's so awesome. And so it's like a historical piece with like, oh man, it's called The Kingdom. It's a zombie show, but it's not like corny like a lot of your other zombie shows. It's actually like scary and intense, and it's takes place in way back in the day in Korea, and it's so good. Oh my god, check out The Kingdom, guys, if you haven't seen it. I just finished season 2, and man, it's like I'm just like itching for more. All right, players are loading in to the troll country. Yeah, Falcon, if you haven't seen the ending of the video, you should go see it. No, I never played Paradox games, really. I prefer, like, RTS. Yeah, it is kind of weird that... Is Grombrindle immune to psychology? I can't remember. I don't think he is. Which is kind of silly. Like, in lore, he would just not... He could face an army of Chaos Demons and just, like, not run. Like, by himself. I mean, not to say he would win it, but... Yeah, Grombrindle has huge plot armor in the lore. Alright, guys, here we are! The Dowie! Coming in with the Rune Lord on his anvil. Pretty cool stuff. The anvil, of course, has a nice little army-wide ability, so it does give your entire army 15% on top of the 25, so it puts you up to 40. So if you're facing any magic units like Sirens, it's actually really good. Clever stuff from Gromby. He's got Slayers, obviously Rangers, no surprise there. Cheap missile units. Slayers, Rangers, and a Dwarven front line of Dwarf Warriors, basically, which is all you really need. Now for the Vampire Coast, they are going to go for a Blitz, it looks like. No, actually they're not. They have Carronade going for the missile play. Going for the quad Carronade. Okay, so he is going for the quad Carronade build with a gunnery wipe. I like this, actually. I think it's kind of cool. Especially since Gromby doesn't have any cannons of his own. I guess there's not going to be too many good targets, but focusing down the Rangers would be nice. Oh, we got a thick boy. We got a bloated corpse coming in here from Ice Power. We have well, is there 5 Carronades? No, it's just 4 with the gunnery wipe. And the gunnery wipe does have the enhanced ballistics. Count Noctilus, crabs, zombies, and some depth guard. Very, very fun stuff. So let us see how this goes. The battle will be underway in a moment. The Dowie Legion. I don't know. That's my one concern, though. Carronades aren't great at, like... If this was a big map, the quad Carronade would be much better, because, like, the dwarves would move slowly, you'd get more picks, but the dwarves here can actually close the distance really fast. And it looks like there are 4 Rangers. So, like, yeah. Like, I don't know. Those cannons are going to get pinned too quickly. I don't think this was the map to pick the quad cannon play. The bloat might do some work. I mean, if the bloat can take out a unit of, or the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, that would be a huge value train for sure. That would be really nice for the Vampire Coast. Good luck, have fun. It seems like we're just about good to go. It looks like 4 Slayers in the back, which is really strong. It pretty much hard counters the Morgul Rush. So, yeah, like I said, it's a pretty hard matchup for Coast, which is good. I think Coast needs to have some bad matchups. So they're really, really strong. You know what's actually kind of scary for Gromby here is the fact that the Rune Lord is up on his anvil. He's a big target, so the cannons could actually all focus down the Rune Lord and probably kill him in a matter of like a minute or so. Yeah, honestly, he should do that. Ice Power should just take out the Rune Lord. Just get all the cannons and just waste them. We'll see if he does it. Hopefully for his sake. So all of his Carronades are affected by the enhanced ballistics, so they're much more accurate now. And yeah, they're going after the Rune Lord, which is really smart. I mean, yeah, the Rune Lord's trying to juke. Look at Grombrindle juking on the Rune Lord. That's hilarious. Oh my god. 3.7, and those cannons are going to keep raining in. Noctil is shooting as well. He 100% wants to go after Rangers. You need to kill the Archers. And the cannons will be unleashing another salvo here in a moment. Is he switching targets? We will find out. I still think this is looking pretty good for the Dwarves. I know it's very early, but in terms of armies, the bloat is in the tree line. He has not advanced out, and the cannons have been switched onto the Rangers, so opting to go for a more conservative, steady style of play, shooting down the missile pieces. Now, the bloat's in the trees. Oh, man, guys. The bloat. Let's watch for a minute. He's waiting. He's eager. Exploding monster. I don't think Gromby will expect this for sure, because the build doesn't look to have any memes in it, but then, like, the bloated corpse comes, and the cannons are doing a good job against Rangers, for sure. Come on, send it out. Send out the bloat. Oh, yeah. Here we go. The bloat's coming from the trees. Could perhaps get the Slayers and Dragonback Slayers. There he goes. Oh, my God, it's happening. It's happening, guys. There goes my hero. He's going to be jumping in so hard, and the dwarves are scattering. They know it's coming. They know. They're all running. Look at all the dwarves run from the bloat. They're like, oh, God, shoot it, bring it down. And Gromby, I think, sacrifices some dwarf warriors, which is the best play. You know, that was pretty good, though. It forced them back, and at least it did some damage to something, right? It wasn't a complete wash. So now we have some angry Slayers beelining here. This is where the Depth Guard need to be over here, so they can intercept the Slayers. Depth Guard will massacre Slayers in combat. He's going to be sending some Halberds instead to try and tar pit. As for now, the cannon's still shooting pretty well. Going after the Rangers, but I think shooting the Rune Lord might not be a bad choice either. Count Noctilus still shooting into the back of those Rangers, and the Depth Guard are coming over to help with the Slayers, which is pretty much what they're designed for in this matchup. You know, sometimes you see that. When there are Mourngul rushes, you'll see like 3 or 4, or 2 or 3 Depth Guard, usually, to try and clean up the Slayer spam. Count Noctilus here, taking some firepower, but again, not terribly devastating. It looks like a Wraith Storm is going to be coming down right here on this position. Slamming into the Longbeards and the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, certainly pretty good. Unfortunately, though, for Ice Power, his crabs here are being hunted by the dreaded Dragonback Slayers, and several of them will be dragged down. So he's going to want to get these crabs and run past these zombies to try and get a better situation for himself. Depth Guard, I don't know what they're delaying for. They need to get over there and intercept, because now you can see the Dwarves are actually closing in on the cannon position. Now again, if this was a bigger map, it'd be much better. But in this case, it's going to be pretty tough to pull it off. So zombies are screened, or screening for the crabs. The crabs are back. Pull the crabs back here. You need to start cleaning up the Dwarven pressure, because if you take a look at the map from a frontal perspective, the Dwarves are now concaving in. So by concave, they have like a big efficient combat circle in which they can collapse on the 4 cannons. And when the cannons go, it's pretty much over. Slayers coming back here. They're going to massacre these these Carronade crews. Brutal, brutal stuff. Depth Guard are out of position, unfortunately, because they've been sent in to fight and hold back this tide. Not out of position per se, but this is going to be bad. There's like 1 Halberd and a Gunnery Wight to fight back Slayers and Great Weapons, and like, yeah, Great Weapons won't be super strong, but yeah, those Slayers are not going to break either. So talk about like a sticky presence, right? They got their cutlasses out for Harambe, but it's not going to be great for them. The Carronade crew going to go down very quickly. Enhanced ballistics will not save them there. And the rest of the Vampire Coast is kind of crumbling across the board. These zombies are all going down here, just getting worn down. There's still so much Dwarf presence. And I think the Rune Lord is still healthy as well. Where did he go? Where is that Rune Lord? Yeah, he's fighting over here. He's pretty much full health. The map was just too small for a build like this. And again, a huge open field map, and if you want to use quad cannon play, so Ice Power, if you're watching this back, if you want to use the quad cannons, you have to run interference. You have to be having scurvy dogs or fellbats harass them while they advance to keep their advance slower so you can get more value from your cannons. Because in this case, he didn't have enough interference, and the Dwarves were able to just march happily into his lines. And I don't know why the Bounce of Power is still even, because the Dwarves are about to massacre, how much are Carronades? 800, I think? 8, 16, 24, 2,400 gold worth of stuff at very little loss here. Depth Guard are surging over. Count Noctilus in his peg leg, hiding in the trees, which is certainly smart, but the Slayers are going to be able to beeline and hunt him down. Lamprey's Revenge going down as well on the far side of the battlefield, and the Slayers just full chubs over here, cutting these Carronades to pieces. And I have to say, that's a pretty good feeling when you're playing Dwarves and you're actually able to get into your opponent's gun line with the Slayers. It's like, it's just anarchy. Karate kicks coming in, Mohawks flying everywhere. This Carronade is crumbling. The other one will be crumbling here in a minute as the Dwarf Warriors do envelop it. And yeah, we got our boy hiding in the trees, Count Noctilus, some Depth Guard pulling back. It looks like maybe he's thinking about getting a last stand here, trying to like form up in the trees, use the Depth Guard with maybe some summons he's been saving in the back pocket, but there's way too many Slayers left. And the Rangers, low on ammo for the most part. Very, very low on ammo. Here you can see the Dwarves pushing back here, going after the Carronades. One down, the other one's going to go down in just a second. And you can see as the massive gold investment on those cannons starts to disappear. And let's see how many kills they got. Yeah, 46 certainly ain't bad. The Dwarf Army, has taken some damage for sure, but yeah, a couple Scurvy Dogs would have been super clutch to keep the Slayers busy, like chasing them, and also to go after the Rangers, because then you would have had a lot more freedom from the missile pressure. So now Noctilus is falling back, kiting a little bit. He does have some Zombos fighting on the far side. It looks like he is going to be summoning some zombies here. Depth Guard chasing down the Dwarf Warriors here. But it's only a matter of time until the fully erect might here of the Dwarven Slayer Horde catches you. They're coming for you. Swiggity swooty, they got some tattoos on their backs. These guys mean business. Depth Guard will intercept them. And Depth Guard again have a pretty good trade here, so this is good for Vampire Coast, and he's scrapping pretty well considering. Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin has been activated. Wraith Storm going down on the Rune Lord, but remember the entire Dwarven army does have an additional 15% resistance from the Locust of the Anvil's Locust. I forget what it's called, but missile pieces shooting into the back of Depth Guard. Missiles definitely very solid against Depth Guard. No shields, 90 armor, but they have a low model count, so any sort of pressure like this is very devastating. The summons coming in. Vampire Coast making its valiant last stand here on the edge of the map against the Horde of Dowie. The Dwarves will be collapsing. Slayers are flanking, getting ready to come around and pincer, I would imagine. And these Depth Guard, there are some great weapons here too. So the Depth Guard will take damage, plus the Rune Lords here. They'll be okay in combat. So here come the Slayers, chasing down Count Noctilus. Steady as she goes. Here comes the Slayer Horde. Chopping at the heels of Count Noctilus. It's pretty interesting, actually. Durthu in lore, actually, the reason why his face is all messed up, I think, is because of a bunch of dwarven lumberjacks, like, chopped him up. Pretty ridiculous. Slayer's charging in, going after the Gunnery Wight. Gunnery Wight is pretty lightly armored himself. He won't like being in combat versus these high DPS units. And this is the last stand. Last dance with Mary Jane. One more song takes away the pain. I forget the lyrics to that song. Nonetheless, depth guard here, completely crumbed. Now it's just a matter of time before the zombies start to crumble. And the Gunnery Wight is 2.5k HP, 2.4. Going down somewhat quickly, but there's just a tide of dwarves. It's the dwarf tide here, guys. The Rangers are shooting. Doesn't matter. There's just so many dwarves. Noctilus will hold for some time, but eventually, you know, he's going to have to face the fury of the Dawi nation. And yeah, look at this. Zombie pirates crumbling badly. Gunnery Wight's just going to get wrecked here. And there's so many Slayers. And these are no mere Slayers. These are the mighty Dragonback Slayers. 4.7. Invocation, of course, a nice heal, but now his HP is going to start to tank pretty quickly. Noctilus not very good at crowd clearing from his Colossus. It's okay. I mean, it does some damage. It'll knock some guys back, but it won't get too many kills. He got 180 kills this game, though. Overall, Noctilus did very well. Very, very well. And let's see. Didn't know this was so tricky against Ranger spam. Dwarfs is one of the worst matchups for Coast. It's really hard. Yeah, so now he's learning. He says he's relatively new to Coast, and for being new to Coast, he played very well. But it's a really hard matchup for Coast, in my opinion. Count Noctilus, Ice Power, has been dethroned by the White Dwarf. Grombrindle has come in. And there you have it. Well played, Ice. 2 really nice wins, and then, you know, playing a pretty tough matchup, but you put up a good fight considering, brother. The Dwarf army, though, is Legion, and they're coming in, and Noctilus should be hitting army losses soon. Critical Binding. It's going down. Its HP is at 10. Negative 29. It's only a matter of time before army losses. Live and learn, he says. Indeed, brother. Indeed. Well played. Negative 7, negative 5, negative 130. There goes army losses. And the hard knock life falls to the vermin type of the dwarf type. The mighty Rune Lord on his anvil sitting and clubbing Count Noctilus. Boom. There you go. I actually recorded a video Vampire Coast build guide the other day, so that'll be going up sometime in the near future. I just have to edit it now. Well played indeed. All right, so Ice Power has fallen. The White Dwarf is here, Gromby. So let's go ahead and update this. Grombrindle. He's got 1. The dwarves were quite tenacious there. One more time to kill the pain. Yeah, that's what it is, Jason, yeah. I always get that wrong. All right, so we have Grombrindle facing off against, let me check the notepad, Tokoli. North Nana coming in hot. So for the next map, I don't know, what map do we want to do? I'm trying to think. Let's do something a little bit spicy here. The dwarves certainly quite ferocious, chopping at the legs of the great Count Noctilus, eventually felling the beast. Could do Altar of Outskirts. We haven't done that one today. It's actually one of the better maps too. Turin, will you be doing build guides for major factions? I think for the ones I'm good at least. And if I'm not good at, if I'm not like really good at a faction, I could perhaps conscript better players. Because the Vampire Coast is all my builds. Some of them need to be reworked though. Like after I recorded it, I was like, that build actually isn't that good. Yeah. Tokoli's on the way. We are on the Altorf outskirts. I would imagine Gromby would like to pick his dwarves, although his opponent can ban them now. I was close, just a little off, yeah. Good stream today, guys. It's been fun. Thank you for sticking around. 2 hours and 55 minutes in. And we're rolling. We're rolling hard in the paint. Celestra is actually really good in a couple matchups. If you put her on her crab against, like, I really like her against, like, Beastmen. She's pretty good there. She can, like, you know, cause terror. Her AoE debuff's really good. And also summoning the terror-causing knights behind your opponent is really strong. So I actually would rather have Celestra on her crab in that matchup than, like, Count Noctilus, for example. Prof Pone. Prof Pone has all the dank builds. Yes. He does indeed. Dawi are definitely not a chill people. No. You know, the Bloaty Boy was quite heroic as well. All right. So Grom picks 3. All right. So Arrow is back. All right, we're gonna see if Arrow wants to come in as the eliminator. We'll see, because of course Arrow was on the list, but he had to step out for a minute. All right, so we got Dawi, Skaven, and Vampirates for Grombrindle. And again, most people who play Dwarves play those other 2 factions because they're all very similar. So North Nana bans Skaven and picks Skaven. So Skaven against Coast is good, and Skaven against Dwarves is really good. So it's going to be Coast for Gromby, 100%. But Skaven have a good matchup here. And I think North Nana's picture, Ducoli, actually is a hamster. So perhaps he's in the spirit here. Hey, Steph, get some rest. 24-hour stream. I would do a 24-hour stream if my hands could handle it, but my right hand has some really bad problems, so I can't. Usually after 3 or 4 hours, it's in a lot of pain. So we haven't seen any Beastmen today. Yeah, it's been weird. There's been some factions that just haven't been picked. We are finally getting Skaven. Oh my god, he's picking Dwarves into Skaven? What? No way. That's the worst matchup for Dwarves, hands down. Granted, if you are playing someone that you're more experienced than, you can still win it, but it is really hard. So for North Nana, he just needs to bring like 4 Death Runners, like 2 Jezzails, like a Mortar, and pretty much anything else he wants, and he'll just wreck shop. So Dwarves for a Skaven, guys. Aerocrastic is going to be coming back after this one. Shock me saying. Well, the thing is, Dwarves and Skaven have somewhat similar playstyles. Tonight is a late night stream, but it didn't start that way. It did not start that way, my friends. Maybe this is going to be so mind-boggling to North Nana that he just will lose his composure. Now, the most success I've had in this matchup, that I've ever had in this matchup, is going with Gotrek, Felix, Thorgrim in a box, hiding in the corner in some trees, and then spamming like 5 gyrocopters and just going and bombing and shooting all the Skaven gun pieces down. That's the most success I've ever had in this matchup. Grombrindle has no fear is certainly very true. Random Nix, why do you think he's doing this, though? Danthrax says, 9 a.m. in Tasmania. Great start to the day. You're welcome. And Danthrax, unfortunately, we're almost done. But, of course, the stream will be uploaded very shortly after, and you can go back and check out. There were some insanely good games earlier. So Arrow is going to come back after this. So here's how it works. If Grombrindle wins this, what is he at? 1. But essentially, the last player plays till they win. So if Gromby wins this, he'll go up to 2, and then he'll have to beat Arrow and the first reserve person to win the stream. But if Aerocrastic's able to defeat them, the stream will be over, and the winner will be a move, and then Arrow basically will have tied for that place. Make it an underway battle to make it more lore friendly. That would actually be really good for the Dwarves. It would keep them from being surrounded. The Dwarves would really benefit from the underway against Skaven, because Skaven typically surround you and like flank you, and with Death Runners. I'm really curious how he's going to play this. I honestly have no idea. Death Runners are so hard to deal with. So Random Nix in chat, of course, a solid player in his own right, says, me and Gromby trained in this matchup a lot, and he even managed to win some against me with his build. Really? Wow. Okay, I'm really excited now. Let us be illuminated. Falcon says the best way is full Vanguard with 3 Slayers. Huh. It's pretty gangster. Well, let's see if we can learn something new today. Oh, man. Sorry, guys. I just spilled some water. I'm going to mop it up here real quick so I don't slip and fall. Help! I've fallen and I can't get back up. Looks like North Nana is ready. Gromby is preparing his final schemes. Oh, man. Pretty tired today, guys. I must admit. Pretty tired. Underway would be nice. Yeah, no, we're not going to do underway. They can Vanguard behind the dwarves, but it certainly takes away a lot of angles. Like, dwarves can just, like, hug the wall and then, like, block their rear, and they'll be fine. And in those underway maps, if you Vanguard behind them, it's, like, so easy to see them right away. Whereas on, like, a map like Altdorf Outskirts, it's, like, it's very difficult. Like, they can be anywhere. So, Random Nick's hyping this up, saying he has one with this build and they've trained. Random, of course, playing some of the captain games with us. And Bannerlord's been a lot of fun. Yeah, it's such a fun game type. Bannerlord's just such a fun game. It's so addictive. But what's good is it's different than Total War, so it kind of scratches a different itch, you know? All right. Oh, Scotty. We have a lot of people from Germany here in chat, I'm sure. So, more so earlier, because it's gotten kind of late. And King of the Hill streams usually go almost 4 hours. They're pretty long. Because I always like say, oh, just 10 people, and then I always feel bad when more people join. I'm like, all right, now 12. All right, 14's fine. It always becomes a bit of a downward spiral in that respect. But it's all good. So we are loading in on the Altdorf Outskirts. Here we go. Oh, what has been my favorite game to cast in recent history? Are you talking about a single battle? I mean, I don't know, yeah. I mean, Total War obviously is my favorite to cast. So I just love Total War battles. It's so cool. The characters are so awesome. I really like live casting, though, when I'm playing myself. I wish I could do it more often. Once all this calms down, hopefully I can get things squared away with my stupid hand. I was talking to doctors about a couple options, so we'll see. I do have lots of itches that need scratching. Very, very true. All right. What sort of insane build do we have here from Grombrindle? All right. So the Madman has gone with a quad cannon, 4 cannons, Ironbreakers, Dwarf Warriors, 2 Thunders, a bunch of miners, and also he does have 1 gyrocopter. And it looks like Grombrindle the White Dwarf. Obviously, Smoke Bomb is super good, so yeah. No, it's Rune Lord, actually. Okay. So it's still someone with a slow. But he's going for quad cannons. Oh, man. How's that going to work against Death Runners? All right, so for the Skaven, 2 Mortars, Teeth Breakers, Rat Ogres, front line of Skaven Slaves. Warp Grinder is definitely not necessary, so on top of that, he does have 4 Death Runners, so that's really good. And he's got Lord Scroll and 2 Assassins. It's a good build. Slightly suboptimal, I would say, because of the Death Runners. Although, I guess, not Death Runners, excuse me, Warp Grinders. But honestly, it's a good build still. This is a strong Skaven build. If you have Death Runners, I would like to see Jezzails instead of Teeth Breakers. The Jezzails are just so good, but Teeth Breakers can wreck shop for sure. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. It's nice. I mean, Gromby is just really going to have to protect his interest here. It's a good Skaven build. Skrulk is really strong. Summons and Lieber is like really good for gooning. The Warp Grinder pick is interesting. I guess if the dwarves do go for a mass rush, it's nice to have some like AoE kind of slowdown and all that sort of good stuff. The 4 cannons are of course going to be here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gyrocopters. This would be a pretty impressive victory if the Dawi were able to win it. The mortars are really nasty against dwarves too, but I think the cannons should be able to... 2 cannons on each mortar team should be able to kill them somewhat quick. Granted, the mortars can hide behind the trees and hills and get really good arcs of fire on this map. It almost makes me wonder if going like Goblobber type things or like Grudge Throwers would be better than the cannons. Because like they're better against infantry and... Yeah, I don't know. Something to think about. Good luck, have fun. So here it comes, guys. Can the mighty dwarves overcome the mortars and the Death Runners and the assassins of Clan Eshin, I would imagine? Pretty much all the Skaven assassins, I'm pretty sure, originate from Clan Eshin, so... And now, also, guys, huge Vanguard in the back, and this is really going to be big. He pops Concealment Bombs right away, which is interesting. Usually you want to save that till you're a little bit closer, but the Death Runners can certainly cut through Dwarf Warriors. They will be okay against Ironbreakers as well. It depends on the blasting charge play, really. So the cannons are shooting in, going very hard in the paint here against the assassins initially. I would imagine they're going to have to switch to the mortars. This is just so damn hard for dwarves. A Vanguard would have been very effective here, because it would have put the Death Runners out of position and also pressured in on those weapons teams really quick. So it looks like some of the Warp Grinders do get caught with the cannon, losing a couple models there. Oops, sorry about that, guys. So 15 down. The cannon's still shooting in, going after the ogres. Mortars will be in range soon, though, and that's when the business gets really nasty. Also, the Death Runner flank will be very effective. And honestly, just have them fight against like whatever they can cash. Ironbreakers are the one fight that's pretty tough. Gromby does not see these guys yet, so he doesn't know they're here. Concealment bombs are still active, but they will be dissipating here in a second. And yeah, we'll see what happens. These are the Vikstrin's Death Squad, so these are actually really strong Death Runners. And now the fighting's here, and he gets past the blasting charges. So the Death Runners will be very cost effective here against Ironbreakers. Man, and 2 Ironbreakers dying like instantly. Look how quickly they get cut down. I mean, God, it's so hard. And the Vikstrin's Death Squad probably going to flank on those guys. Yeah, one of them gets right into Gromriddle's defenses, or his cannon line, and is already chopping at the cannons. And now the mortars are shooting as well, which should be targeting the Thunders and the other, pretty much everything in the Dwarven army is a choice target. So Ironbreakers are going in guard mode and trying to shoot, despite the fact that they're being swarmed. That's a lot of gold to lose pretty quick. And you can see how quickly Death Runners take them apart. Bonus versus infantry, great AP, and also lowering their armor down to freaking 60. Oh god, that's so nasty. So here you can see the cannon crew being besieged here. The dwarves are trying to peel. In the back we do have dwarf warriors fighting the Death Runners, which will be a death sentence for them. Pun completely intended. Now the back line's getting a little bit wild. At least the Ironbreakers did put up a fight though. They were able to take some models off those 2 Death Runners. The one group of Death Runners does bounce over onto the Thunders. The mortars are shooting in quite happily. Skrulk, I would imagine, should be getting close and dropping summons to start pressuring as well. And here on the other side we have Skaven Slaves trying to bunker bust their way in. It's actually a pretty close battle. The Death Runners are being taken apart. They for sure are. The ones that overextended into the main lines, one group of Ironbreakers is 100% taken out. I almost feel like North Nana should pull back these Death Runners now, like re-stealth, and then come back in later for a gooning attempt, now that they're the trap is sprung. But it looks like he's going to be opting to just get in combat. So now we have the Teethbreakers going after the Rune Lord, going to slow him down, do a little bit of damage. Skrulk Daddy was actually gooned by some cannon fire. Yeah, you can see the Dwarf Cannons attempting to snipe Skrulk, which isn't a bad play. Yeah, he gets caught with a cannonball right there. He should just start blowing his load with all his spells, because he might not be long for this earth. Thunders are shooting him as well. The Dwarves taking a lot of mortar fire, very, very nasty. Death Runners in the back, fighting Dwarf Warriors, which is good for them. And here, these ones are fighting Dwarf Warriors, but there's also some Slayers nearby, or Dragonfire Pass, which should help win that. Assassins are going to be piling in, jumping on top of the Dwarven guns. Man, doing a lot of damage, actually. Really, really some serious stuff. And the Teethbreakers doing their thing. Plague Monks have been summoned. Skrulk Daddy should 100% run and hide in the trees now and come back later in the game. Just pull up your Winds of Magic and play it really safe. The mortar teams are shooting at cannons, which is probably not the best choice, although I think that might have just been a wild shot that just, they kind of just shoot randomly, to be honest. The Ogres have gotten on top of the gun lines, and the Dwarves are looking a little bit beat up now. They still have the Rune Lord. The frontline fight isn't going terribly, but the thing is even if you win this fight, this fight in this kind of center mass here, you still have to deal with those mortar teams and the Rattling guns here. Skaven just have so many things that are so good against Dawi. But yeah, Skrulk needs to hide for sure. If Skrulk dies, I think that gives the Dwarves a pretty good way to potentially win this. The Assassins are pulling back. It looks like all the Death Runners have more or less been forced back. These ones are down to 14 models. Have gotten some pretty good kills. This cannon team still going hard. But North Nana has some Death Runners back, and I believe they are hidden. Now they're still visible, actually. But if he could get those Death Runners on top of that cannon, that would be pretty backbreaking for sure. So the Rattling Gunners giving a good old Last Samurai 1-2 punch here to the Miners, who of course are not going to want any of that. And now they can turn and start ripping shots into the advancing Dwarven Warriors. Skrulk, though, I don't know. He's being really reckless with Skrulk, though. But I guess he really wants to get the summons towards the cannon there. And here you can see the Death Runners have re-stealthed. This cannon team is offline. The Warp Grinders of all units have gotten over here to take it off, which is quite powerful. Gyrocopter's still flying about. And here we have a Plague Monk summon from Skrulk before he breaks, negative 31. He might actually shatter soon, but at least for Skrulk's sake, he did get that nice summon off. Now you can see the bounce power is still in the favor of Skaven. Actually, yeah, for the first time, it's very, very visible. The Mortar team's just doing devastating damage to this Dwarven blob. The Dragonfire Pass, that poison over time is just so gross. But Gromby is pushing back. He might be able to, if he can get even these very beat-up units on top of the Mortar teams and the other Skaven troops here, that could be a way back in this game, 100%. Summon Plague Monks, able to finish them off. Some Death Runners are coming back. Ogre is pulling away here from the Dwarf Warriors. Granted, they could probably just fight that, to be honest, and win that. We have the Skaven Assassins embroiled in combat, going after the cannons. Some Dwarven guns have come back online, but the Skaven Death Runners are coming back from all angles. And all it's going to take is a couple of guys here. Even these, 12 Death Runners are going to put a huge dent here in the Dwarven guns. God, Death Runners are so hard to deal with for Dwarves. I mean, they do so much damage. You guys saw how quick they took apart those freaking Ironbreakers. The 50% armor debuff is so punishing. And yeah, you can see this. I mean, look at that. The Thunders are losing out against 12 of those Death Runners. Over here, though, the last of these brave Ironbreakers are able to hold back the Death Runners. Balance of Power is getting more and more Skaven favored, as here we have a pretty bad situation for the Dwarf Lord. He is taken out here by the Skaven Assassin and the Rat Ogres and the Death Runners. And yeah, you can see the Rune Lord is just getting absolutely just gorilla pounded by these guys. He's down for the count, which is certainly going to be a portent of doom here for the Dawi. Dwarves are getting dangerously close to army losses. And back here, what do we have? Some Poison Wind Mortar teams being compromised. That's really good for the Dawi. Able to get some peels there. Teethbreakers are being chased. This is a really nice backfield grab, but they're mostly out of ammo. The big issue, of course, is the 2 assassins and the ogres who are just rampaging. And the dwarves really don't have any anything left that can rally. The cannons have all been taken offline. It looks like the gyrocopters are going after the death runners here, which they're going to run out of ammo, and they're going to have to go fight assassins in melee, which certainly is not fun. Well played. I mean, North Nanda's played a good game. It's just such a hard matchup for Dowie. Like, even if things are going well for you, it's just like a disaster. It just feels like it's so impossible to win. Teethbreakers are scurrying for the hills. Concealment bombs are active. And they should be able to clear the way out there. We'll find out. The only thing that was different about this build is there was no Jezzails. I feel like Jezzails would have been really, really good. Like, just popping the gyrocopters out of the sky. Yeah, and the dwarves are in a bit of a mass exodus. There are some crews and other pieces coming back. Gromby really quick to respond and get them back online, but this would be probably one of the most legendary comebacks of all time if he was able to somehow come back here. And here the mortar teams are being chased and broken. Okay, that's a start. And the Teethbreakers are about to be crumped here by these dwarf warriors with great weapons. They'll 100% lose that combat. That's pretty good. Dwarves are rallying, but the assassin is going to be really tough to kill. The double assassin plus the ogres. I mean, maybe if the dwarves can get a cannon back online somehow. Do they have any cannon crews over here? It looks like that cannon crew is running. These dwarf warriors are just chasing down the Teethbreakers, but the Teethbreakers, I think, might be a little faster. 33 against 28. Yeah, that's pretty rough. The gyrocopters should definitely come in and pin. It looks like it's chasing off some death runners, which isn't a bad idea. There are 15 of them. But the gyrocopter could come back over here, pin the Teethbreakers down with a charge, and allow the dwarf warriors to catch them, which would be certainly a way back in this game. Warriors of Dragonfire Pass are still functional as long as they finish off the mortars and chase them off the battlefield. I mean, maybe there's a glimmer of hope for the dwarves here. Warriors of Dragonfire Pass will do very good work against assassins and those type of characters. And now the Rattling Gunner is going to go into guard mode, try and shoot the gyro where they can. But again, losing more models as the ogres and assassins do come in. The dwarves are certainly not, like, out of this yet. It might look like it, but I feel like they still have some teeth here. The dwarf warriors definitely need to engage in combat and just cycle charge with the gyros, chase things down. Back here, Warriors of Dragonfire Pass need to finish off the mortars. If those mortars come back and do damage, it's going to be really, really bad. North Nana able to get them back online, it looks like, but the miners are very close by. They're wavering. They're very, very low, but it doesn't take much to beat Skaven weapons teams in combat. So the proud Jawi miners will finish them off, and now we head back to the main battlefront. The dwarf warriors with great weapons, the warp grinder is actually doing some pretty good work here, actually breaking them, as a matter of fact. Yeah, the troop quality here is pretty poor. With an assassin and ogres, yeah, 2 assassins. I think that's really the straw that will break the dwarves back. And that's it. The Skaven pull out the victory. The assassins and the ogres, just too much. Man, and it's so tough. Gromby put up a great fight considering the circumstances. And we have a donation coming in from Seb. Thanks for all the Warhammer 2 content. Come to Australia, I'll buy you a beer. Seb, someday, brother. Someday, I would be down. Lady Turin and I will make our way. We also had a donation during the game from Daros for $5. Thank you for the $5. He says, anyone knows that homemade moonshine is better than beer? Thank you guys so much, all right? I appreciate it. The teeth were broken indeed. So now Aerocrastic is the closer, potentially. He's back from his exodus. GG, well played. That's such a hard matchup. So let me go ahead and tag Arrow. He's back from his phone call. You're up. And we'll do, should we do the Amber Bow, just some absolute meme map? All right, so we'll do the Estalian Tomb. Actually, let's do a Wild Glacial Lake pick. Should be fun. Hey, Mais, I see you have a Dwarf or Skaven build. Send it my way, dude. Or you can show me a replay of it. It was a good attempt. That's such a hard matchup. It's just so damn difficult. Yeah, the Skaven are just such a hard counter against dwarves. Like, even if the dwarf player plays so well, it's like really tough to win. Yeah, Ironbreakers, well, the thing is like, Ironbreakers have 120 armor, right? They're super tanky, but the Weeping Blades from the Assassins, from the Death Hunters, puts them down to freaking 60 armor. And they also have a huge bonus for its infantry, so they have so many things that are so good against everything on the Dowie roster. Yeah, Seth, I was surprised as well. Death Runners aren't that great in too many matchups. Aerocrastic says Beastmen. I don't care what you play. So it's going to be Beastmen versus either Skaven, Vampire Coast, or Dwarves. Which honestly, Beastmen have a good matchup versus all those factions, or a decent matchup. Probably the hardest would be, I don't know, Skaven? Yeah, probably Skaven. So North Nana definitely going to want to probably go Skaven here and just get like a Plague Furnace and Hell Pits and like all that sort of good stuff. So it's going to be Coast. Yeah, this is a hard matchup, I feel. But Bombers are really effective here. Some of the powder can take down Minotaurs and things like that. So we have Beastmen versus Vampire Coast. Arrow being a hero, coming back in. And this will be the potentially the final game of the stream. Now, we got to update this to have North Nana. If North Nana wins against Arrow, and then is able to beat a couple people on the reserve list, then he'll win the stream. But if Arrow wins, Arrow is actually acting as our first closer here. So if Arrow does win, then the stream is over. And essentially, we'll just call it a tie between him and A-Move. No mercy shall be shown. North Nana, what schemes do you got? Are we going to see a Wild Queen Bessie pick? Perhaps so. Some fun times to come. Again, thank you guys for your donations. Really do appreciate that. I would like to go to Australia someday. I think that'd be really fun, Seb. That's a really long flight. Isn't it like freaking like 20 hours or something? And maybe we'd go like somewhere that's closer first and then stay a couple days. And because the 20-hour flight is so miserable. Oh, God. Yeah. Are you going to do some Shogun 2 stuff when it becomes free later this month? Probably not. I put it... Yeah, I don't know. Probably be focusing more on Total War and then, of course, Bannerlord. Yeah, I mean, gyrocopters kind of work like a bit of a cav unit. Like a battlefield mobility piece. It's still tricky, though. All right, Arrow is ready. Looks like North Nana preparing to make his valiant stand against the mighty Everchosen. We'll see what happens here. That's pretty cool that Shogun 2 is going free later this month. That's really nice. It's going to bring in a lot of new people. It's such a great game. Shogun 2 is so good. I think it's one of the best Total War games of all time. Like, hands down. That, the original Rome, was so good too. Yeah, in Blood Bowl, the dwarves do have like a lawnmower like machine they have. Like, it's a giant steamroller with like spikes on it. Yeah, Michael? I feel like it's longer than that. I don't know. Sometimes, like, when you take flights, international flights, it's surprising how, like, long they are. Like, because they have to take, like, circuitous routes. Like, they have to go, like, up and down, like, to avoid certain wind currents and things like that. And, yeah. Restricted area. So we're going to be having the con stream tomorrow. So Bannerlord stream will be tomorrow morning. And we will be doing the siege. So make sure to tune in. I was going to do it today, but I wanted to allow more people to actually watch that stream and catch up so people wouldn't fall too far behind. Shogun 2 is 10 years old? I think Shogun 2 is like 10, 11 years old now. I think it came out in like 2010 or 9. I can't remember. All right, Aerocrastic versus North Nana. Will Decoli continue the stream, or will Aerocrastic be the bringer of the end times with a Chaos Army? We are in the Glacial Lake, a pretty close quarters map. So we'll see how this bad boy goes. Always a fun one. Remember, guys, if you enjoy the stream, do drop a like. If you enjoy the channel and you're not subscribed, do so, man. Helps out. Keeps me going strong. All right, and here we are in the Glacial Lake. The mighty Chasm of Doom. Looks like a Chaos Shrine down here. Oh, you can kind of zoom in here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it'd be so fun to be, like, designing this kind of stuff. This looks very much like Isengard, right? Like when they're, you know, in the industrial heart of Isengard. Yeah, we'll go ahead and jump out of there if we can. The Beastmen army, I would imagine Arrow is going to go for, like, a lot of summons and raiders and things like that. Although, you know, against the Vampire Coast, you can go with, like, Vile Tide spam and, like, that kind of stuff rather than spamming summons. It actually is pretty good against our troops. So Arrow showing no mercy here. His build is very effective. He has Malagor. Of course, Cygor summon plus Vile Tide spam, just like we said. He's got Spawn, he's got Pigs. Pigs deal with the crabs. Spawn deals with all the light armor. Ungors, double Gorbold to kill the big monsters. 2 Raiders and Harpies. This is like a straight-to-business build. Like, straight to business. There is no games. And he's actually vanguarding most of his army, which is hilarious. However, it looks like North Nana is very ready for this. He's has a pretty big... Oh, although, I don't know. Two mortars here are not going to do anything. Those mortars are... I guess they could hurt the archers. He's got Zombie Pirate Deckhand Mobs. He's got a Leviathan, Solastra, Vampire Fleet Captain, and some Depth Guard. You know, honestly, he's got a pretty good wall of his own. With Solastra summons plus the Damned Knights Errant to summon on top of the bows. I think that he could hold. It's going to be tough. Arrow has a really mean rush. But this little choke point here is certainly helpful for him. Granted, the Raiders can sit right here and shoot the cannons very quickly. So we'll see how that unfolds. It is Ungor Herds, Blackhorns Ravagers. Yeah, Arrow with a very nasty Beastman build. This is solid. What he'll probably do is use the Cygor summon as a melee summon to summon it on top of like the crabs or like something else to fight. Yeah, this is it. Gorbles, of course, will be very effective against the big Crabos. Shade Wraith Gunners are a cool pick too, though. Shade Wraith Gunners could unleash some heavy firepower here into the Raiders and break them quickly. Like, if North Nana is very quick to get his mortars shooting into the Raiders with the Shade Wraith Gunners, he could kill the archers really quick. Good luck, good luck. Let us see what is to come from this glorious battle, my friends, as we load in. And the final fate of the Glacial Lake is decided, the Beastmen versus Vampire Coast. And here cometh the Bray Herd. I do agree with the Sloster pick here. I think she's really solid. Arrow is obviously going to engage really quickly here. Ungor. These Ungor herds, yeah, they're just chaff herds. Looks like he wants to get the Gore herds engaged, which is smart. So he's sending in the Gores because they'll cut much quicker. And the Beastmen are just going to kind of square up and press his position pretty fast. The Gore Bulls are just going to be eyeing Solastra and the big Crabos. Now we have the first fight going in between the Gore herds and the Deckhand mobs, which will be a massacre. Gore herds have a huge charge bonus. A little bit of friendly fire from the Crabo. And are the Gore Bulls nearby? Yes, the Gore Bulls are coming. The pigs are coming. It's just going to be a full-on party here in just a moment. So the spawn a little bit behind. I would imagine Harpies will be sent on top of the Shade Wraith Gunners, which would be good. Mortars aren't too much of a threat. But here comes the beatdown squad. So here comes the Gore Bulls. Oh man, Solastra's going to take some damage here if she's not careful. 2 Gore Bulls Wamped on her is going to be a lot of damage. And immediately she takes a little bit, actually. And the other Crabo comes in to get the 2v1 crab situation. Aerocrastic, of course, getting that full surround where he can. And the spawn are now being sent in. So even if the Gore herds do break, the spawn here will be a very, very nice pressure piece. So Shade Wraith Gunner shooting at the Gore Bulls, getting some decent damage actually. And you can see the Depth Guard are rotating over, but Depth Guard will get massacred by the Razor Gores. Razor Gores will do a lot of damage here. And the Damned Knights Errant have been summoned behind the lines, which is really smart. And now you use them to chase down the Ungor Raiders and Archers. I think that's why Arrow may have left the spawn back there to try and deal with that. And it looks like a Crabo summon is going to be used here. But it's so hard as Vampire Coast to stop like your infantry from just getting wrecked. That's why sometimes Sirens can be good, but that's also why Aerocrastic did bring the Vile Tide, because it's really good at clearing out Sirens. Harpies back here in the meantime have jumped on top of Shade Wraith Gunners and are doing some pretty good damage. But the Beastmen are holding well. Nice Vile Tide right there, doing some big old damage. Spawn still grinding it out. Malagor also going to be jumping in combat. And the Gore Bulls will be trying to get on top of the Rotting Leviathan. Balance of power is currently relatively even, but now we have another wave of pressure coming in as the Ungors are going to be collapsing into the Deckhand mobs. Granted, we do have Depth Guard back there, who are a pretty good cleaner unit, so that could be quite scary. But a Cygor summon has been used behind the coastlines, dropped right behind Solastra Deerfang. Cygor is a decent beatstick in his own accord, and here it looks like the halberds are about to crumble down, which means that these Ungors could charge into the cannons, and the pigs are just pulling back and looking for those opportune engagements. And there's a lot of wild hogs coming in, sweet pig, as they jump into this Rotting Leviathan, and are starting to do some pretty good HP damage. However, the Depth Guard are doing a good job, and I have to say, North Nana is doing a really good job holding. And Aerocrastic looking for ways in. He does get some of his Raiders back and some of his Piggies back. And now the Gore Bull and company are starting to lay a beatdown on this Rotting Leviathan. Granted, the one Gore Bull is actually kind of getting worked on a little bit, guys. He's taking a bit of damage. North Nana doing a great hold here, but the summons will be disappearing soon for the coast. And now you can see Solastra herself is taking a little bit of damage from the Raiders, plus some of the spawn and some of those other sweet, sweet units. Ungors on the flanks, fighting pretty well. Deckhand mobs will be broken soon, but there are layers of defenses. There's extra Deckhand mobs, but the Harpies really causing a lot of disruption. Definitely needs to pull something over to try and clear those Harpies. Depth Guard must have a lot of kills. 77 on the Depth Guard. The one big Crabo certainly in a bit of trouble. The Gore Bulls are in good shape, and this could be doom. This could be doom for the... Yeah, and the second Cygor summon. So guys, check out this circle beating. Oh my god, 2 Cygors beating on Solastra, 2 Gore Bulls beating on her. And she's really tanky, but I don't see that going terribly well for Solastra. She's just getting worked on here. Just absolutely gorilla pounded by the 2 Cygors and the 2 Gore Bulls. That is a lot of AP damage coming in. On the flanks, though, it's going not so bad for Coast. They are holding, but the Harpy back here able to just keep those Shade Wraith Gunners offline this whole time. And the Mortars kind of damage have they done? 42 kills and 72, so certainly not bad, considering. But Celestra here, just getting gorilla pounded is probably going to be game, unless she can get away and get invos. Yeah, like, if Celestra can survive here, maybe there's still some teeth for the coast. She can pull back and wait out the Cygor summons and, you know, let the Depth Guard and the other crab kind of do some heavy lifting. This is good. Yeah, you got Celestra back. And does his Vampire Caster still draw breath, though? Let's see. I see Depth Guard. He had a Vampire Caster. It may have died to the Gorbles. I think Aerocrastic actually killed the Vampire Caster with his Gorbles, which means Celestra is going to probably die here. He's crumbling. Oh, man, guys, there's a horde of angry pigs coming in. Sweet piggy. As the Gorbles charge in, not Gorbles, but the Razor Gores, the Wild Hogs, getting in there, oinking and tusking. And Celestra, I'm sure she never dreamed in her wildest dreams that she would be falling to a horde of angry pigs. Pigs are scary, though. I can tell you, I've seen the Wild Hogs of Poland, and they don't mess about. Rotting Leviathan here is going to be crumbling as well, and Aerocrastic is going to end the stream, closing it out with a glorious Beastmen herd. North Nana put up a great fight, though, I have to say. I just think the mortars were not the right choice. Aside from that, his Vampire Caster dying too. It's tricky business. So well played, guys. Well played. Aerocrastic will tie for first place, as he is the closer of today's stream. And that is going to be that. So let me go ahead and do this. So A move and Arrow, both tied at 3. And that is going to be that. Sweet pig. Sweet pig indeed. All right, guys. The pigs were ferocious indeed. It's been a long stream. It's been a fun journey. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. About 3.5 hours. Sounds about right. The dirty beastman, says Woody. Indeed. So special thanks to all the mods for helping out. You guys are aces. Couldn't do it without you guys. We haven't had too much pressure from the Slanesh bots lately, but I've seen angry pigs in Poland. The Slanesh bots have been calm. So thank you, mods, for all of your help, as always. And again, special thanks to some folks for donations and memberships from Daros, Seb. We also have Blake Colborn, Yuri, Bunk Moreland, Andrew Cohen, Sofa Muncher, Ben Flint, Samuel Christensen, and Lich109. And then also we have a couple new sponsors, like I said. So let's go here to the activity. From Espen Broderson, Astos Moldova. Thank you guys so much. Tired of URL, Blake Colborn. We have one coming in from James Darnbrook. To close out the stream, get yourself a few pints of Bugmans and keep up the good work. I will, brother. Thank you so much. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. It was fun. It was very fun indeed. Good games across the board. Aerocrastic and A-Move coming in hard with that Rock 3 chai there at the end. So good stuff indeed. All right, guys. That's it for today. I'll be back with the Bannerlord stream tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, I'll probably take it off. Wednesday, we'll probably have another Total War stream. And then Thursday will be Bannerlord. Going to be a lot of streaming throughout the week. Bouncing back and forth between Total War and Bannerlord. The pigs are no joke. The pigs are no joke indeed. Appreciate all you guys. Certainly made my day very fun. And we'll see you back with more content tomorrow. A lot of fun stuff on the horizon with list videos and all sorts of memes coming. You guys will love it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And stay safe out there. Cheers.